All right. So what I want, if you're done, is let me just get a quick layout of like the name of the character, and then the occupation, I think, and then we'll just for my own reference, right? And you'll be like, well, this guy's dead, pretty soon.
When that happens.
Yeah. So Stephen, we'll start with you.
All right, number 1, the handyman is none other than Tim Taylor.
Very good. Tim the Toolman Taylor. Tim Taylor, handyman.
He's going to be hitting people with a hammer. And he's going to do it.
Have you seen that Doom mod that's just all his face and stuff?
I got about 30 seconds in. I was like, you have to turn it off. You can't do it. It's too much.
Okay, so
there is Bruce the biker.
All the weapons.
Bruce.
He simply goes by Bruce.
The biker. Got it.
We have the water finder, Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
You get the reference?
Spelled like the actor is
Exactly.
Kevin Costner. Water finder.
Who may or may not have been in a movie about water.
With Dennis Hopper. Okay. And your fourth person?
Lizzie Cooper, the janitor.
Lizzie Cooper, the janitor. Very good. Okay. Robert, your characters.
Okay, we have Dina, the miner.
Now, how do you spell that?
D-I-N-A.
Okay. Yeah. The miner. Okay.
We have Gina, the blue wheat farmer.
G-I-N-A.
Yeah.
I'm picking up
Sensing
on
a pattern here.
Yeah.
Blue wheat farmer. Okay.
And we have Lena, the pharmacist.
L-I-N-A.
Yeah.
Pharmacist. Is this one Tina?
Nina.
No, it's Mina.
Oh, I was going to go with Nina, man.
Pharmacist and Nina?
Nina?
Nina, M-I-N-A, like heart.
Yeah,
heart
she's the electrician.
electrician. All sisters, all related.
It's going to be a tragedy when one of them is the sole survivor of their family.
Electrician.
I thought about giving mine all the same name.
This is Bob, 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 and Bob.
That's some paranoia shit right there.
Are we just going the first one or all four?
All four?
All four. Let me know all
We
four.
need them all?
Yeah. So which one's nope?
About 3 of them.
Nope. Nah. No. And 9.
Mogox, the Perosian orphan.
M-O-G-O-X?
AOX.
A... M-O-G-A-O-X.
AOX.
And he's the...
Came right
Urchin.
out of a Saturday morning cartoon.
Perosian orphan.
Yeah. The badger person. Cool. Got it?
Since that's kind of detailish.
Mm-hmm.
Corkel.
Spell that.
K-O-R-K-E-L.
Oh, Corky.
Mm-hmm.
The Junk Digger.
Junk digger.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay, that one's kind of hard to pronounce. Tedyx.
T...
E-D-Y-X.
Tedix?
Tedyx. There we go.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Ted YX, yeah.
The Food Checker.
Food checker. Okay.
Torkro.
T...
T-O-K-R-O.
Tokro.
The Researcher.
Research. Okay. Rachel.
Jax, the driver.
J-A-X.
Yep.
Driver.
Elsie, the electrician.
Oh, you're not going to go with all Mortal Kombat names? Kano, the Raiden, the...
No, I pulled Jax because he's a
Raiden the
robot
farmer.
and it's from the mechanical.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
So
man.
what was the second one? I'm sorry.
Elsie, the electrician.
E-L-S-I-E.
Yeah.
The electrician.
Lola, the hunter.
Lola.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter.
And Lucy, the veterinarian.
Lucy. The vet.
So we have Nina and Lucy.
Yeah, we do.
Now who will survive?
None of them.
Well, if none of them, we have a bit of a problem.
We want at least one to make.
We want at least one to make.
Do you want to make our child go to bed before we properly get started here?
That's probably a good idea.
With your 4 characters' powers combined, they form one semi-functional character.
Captain
They form one
Lettuce.
total human. One functioning person. Dina, Gina, Lena, and Mina, along with Jax, Elsie, Lola, Lucy, Mogox, Corkle, Tedix, Tokro, Bruce, Lizzie Cooper, and then actual movie star Kevin Costner, and then home improvement character Tim the Toolman Taylor. Excellent. See, this is exactly what we were aiming for.
Yes.
I should have gone with Ickle Me, Pickle Me, and Tickle Me.
Ooh, that'd be good.
I think I would have probably disbarred that.
I went for a ride in a flying shoe.
That's the level of silly I can't allow.
Shel Silverstein.
I'm aware of who it is. Shel Silverstein has no place in the post-apocalypse.
What we have to do is have it so each one of our characters has one of those names. So he's like, "Huh, that's odd."
All right, so
And
Ickle
only
me,
with our
Pickle
powers
me,
combined.
and Tickle Me. And two.
2. Now wait a second.
God damn it, there's a flying shoe. You guys rig this.
All right, so the whole lot of you, all 16 of you, are members of a small community that has sprung up in the rebuilt ruins of an ancient high school, settled in what they refer to as the Nuqua Valley. Now, this ancient high school, this community that lives there, is one of many of various humans and creatures sort of banding together to try to help each other through this post-apocalypse that occurred after something that is referred to as the Great Cataclysm. Now, this cataclysm, nobody can seem to agree on what it was or when it happened.
As you do.
Some people suggest that it was a strange object from space, like a satellite or something, that collided into the moon, and the shockwave messed everything up, like on a reality bending level. Some say that something invaded a millennia ago, things, and the locals set off a weapon that devastated the planet in order to defeat them. And there are dozens of other strange stories, but most people just don't care because the world is what it is now and they have to live in it. Right. So you live in a place called Umerica. Umerica, and I stress that because it's a U. Umerica is essentially this is for player knowledge, really. The remnants of North and Central America. Right? Stretches from the northern ice wall and ends at the Amazonian Sea. It's generally a barren, dusty place. So picture, the Australian outback via Mad Max, right? Large, overgrown patches of greenery here and there because of the mutated plant life and wildlife. And in these oases of green, right, most of the ruins and roads have been partially reclaimed by the wilds, if not completely overrun. We're talking about whole highways left abandoned, fissured, thousands of decaying cars still there, some of which are used as people's homes now as they've just sort of moved into them for shelter. Few roads are kept up by some local communities or merchants and stuff in order some basic travel, but those are few and far between. And those are kind of like vital paths. So any sort of conflict between the various communities about trade moving back and forth or vital resources, they're setting up choke points and battles and raids over like these specific roads and bylanes and things. Most settlements are they're in that sort of like pocket of green, but not too close to the woods because they don't want to get overrun by weird creatures, Close enough to a decent source of fresh water. And there are ruins dotting the entire length of America because the various metropoli still stand, albeit, in this sort of desiccated, ruined form, right? And people, generally speaking, like they in the Fallout sense, right? They stick to their communities, or they get out in bands and they travel and they explore these ruins or the wilderness for resources, purely for the exploration of it. Like, but those people are generally never seen again, and it was a dumb idea to go out there in the first place.
So we're out exploring.
So
Basically.
you guys are in the Nuqua Valley, specifically in the settlement of Nuqua, right? Of which for which the valley is named. You are living regularly in a sort of repaired, to some extent, high school, nestled in this little part of the valley, and you hear this morning that you hear a series of like loud clangings, which you know to be the sort of the settlement's kind of announcement bell, and it's summoning all of you to come to sort of the central, specifically the gymnasium in the settlement, in the high school, to sort of have a community assembly, because the mayor is going to probably make some kind of speech or proclamation, or talk about his fondness for blue wheat again. I don't know. The mayor has something to say, and you're all sort of
We're glad to go.
coaxed to come. Yes. So you all file in to this gymnasium with its sort of warped, lacquered floor and
Steel benches.
the
Bleachers?
The bleachers, thank you. Yeah, and the bleachers are all scuffed up and in various states of disrepair, but most are good enough to have a brief sit on, at least. And you see, standing in the middle of the gymnasium is your mayor, Mayor Glumpton. Mayor Glumpton is a balding, overweight gentleman. He looks essentially like the body type of a pear. Wearing a sort of a thick leather overcoat that is turned into basically scraps and strips towards the bottom. A white tank top, what they would call a wife beater in the old times. I don't like that word, but and what looks like jorts. Now, players know what I mean. You guys just see this weird blue, like, short, like, half leg
Is it
covering
like super
thing.
short shorts?
It's kind of short. It's uncomfortably short for his weight. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Potential Daisy Dukes.
Super muffin top and really tight on those thighs.
And Mayor Glumpton, of course, you spot from a mile away the bulbous growth that is basically mounted on the top right of his head. It's this sort of like big, sort of strained purple blemish that is about the size of basically your fist. That's on the top of it, and that he's always had ever since he showed up in Nuqua.
I kind of want to vomit like thinking about him.
Sure, please feel free.
Roll the vomit.
No, there's an apple chip in there.
Remove the apple chip first, and then vomit in that. So you all find your seats in the gymnasium, and Mayor Glumpton clears his throat. There's no other way to say it. Nuqua's in a bad way. We need just about everything there is to need, and we got none of it. We barely have enough to live, let alone load into the damn tribute truck. And don't think I didn't forget. Yeah, tribute truck time again. Well, we only have a week before they're going to be coming in force to pick it all up. And we all know what's going to happen if we don't fill it with goods before then. You remember what happened to Mr. Johnson? Now, you feel that the mood in the gymnasium is grimmer than usual, because you know that the mayor's right. You have barely anything because of a series of poor, several bouts of extreme weather in the region lately. Burning mud and storms and acid rain and heavy winds and things like that, which have made it difficult to cultivate crops or even to go out and salvage and scavenge. And the times that you were able to go out, you found that the surrounding area, since you've been here, have been pretty much picked clean. There's really not a lot in the immediate area around Nuqua anymore, so you're going to have to start. So the people are going to have to start fanning out further. Now, you remember that this tribute truck, about last season it was, because of the desperation of resources and food and everything like that, the Nuqua managed they essentially put forward a bandit raid on a nearby settlement to try to capture some resources for themselves and try to make it through the season. That was a complete botch. Their best fighters were lost, leaving only you people and the rest of the citizenry, right?
Cool.
And they basically had to come to an agreement with that settlement saying, like, okay, you guys basically tried to rob us and kill us. So, like, every year we're going to drive a large cargo truck up to the city. You're going to fill that up with tribute, basically, goods and such. If you don't fill it up by midsummer, we're going to hurt you.
We're going to come rob
We're going to
kill
come
you.
beat the shit out of you, right? So, you know that if the tribute truck's empty, those raiders are going to come and pillage this settlement.
Cool.
Until the truck is full, they'll leave, and if the place is on fire and everyone's dead, that's not their problem anymore. So it's in your best interests to make sure that this tribute truck gets filled.
We need a new home.
Now, luckily, soon after that, you see Mayor Glumton moved off to the side forcibly by a man in long, tight leathers, a leather jacket and tight leather pants and boots, and you see that he has got this sort of ornate black and white face paint on, and you recognize him to be Zor. Zor is one of the acolytes of the mighty Kiz, his patron deity, and he arrives in the center of the gymnasium, and he gives a gesture for the mayor to just hold on and let him speak. And then he greets you all and says, "Greetings, chicks and dudes. Hearken and prepare thyselves for rockin' news straight from the blessed pierced lips of the mighty Kiz. His most holy rock and rolliness has shown me an awesome vision of pyrotechnics and glory for those brave enough to heed his words. Turn your shears into swords, my peoples, and march forth unto that creepified forbidden mall your grannies warned you about. But gather courage in the knowledge that the power of rock and roll will guide you. Thank you, and good night." And then he files out of the gymnasium.
To no response.
And everyone's kind of stunned at Priest Zor's words. Not the way he spoke, that's pretty common. But he's essentially telling them to arm themselves and go into a abandoned mall, an ancient shopping mall nearby, partially sunk into the earth, that everyone avoids because they either think it is too dangerous or actively haunted by something. But now desperate times have called for desperate measures. Mayor Glumton moves back into the center of the gymnasium and says, "Now, as much as I don't want to say it, I agree with Zor. We need some volunteers to go into that accursed place and bring back what we need for the truck. Now, who's got to man up and go?" And that is how you got suckered.
Where do you want me to go? You know my luck with salvage. Remember last time?
You got suckered
So
into
bad.
driving to the Forbidden Mall.
Nice.
So,
I'm a driver.
My salvaging is not that good, guys.
Is you're complaining in the back seat as we're driving?
right.
Just
You got a
I
cargo.
know I have a weasel nose, but that does not mean
Like
I
a literal
find-
weasel's nose.
That does not mean I find all the goods. You know how much rotten stuff I smell?
Is it like a cargo van so all 16 of us can fit in one
all
of these?
sitting in the back.
Yeah, it's essentially
It's just a
a
bus.
It's a partially recovered,
School bus?
not a school bus, but a tour bus.
Okay.
You know, the kind of thing that they put around Universal Studios or whatever to move people through the like a film studio or Universal Studio grounds or something like that. And so you're all packed into this rickety, chugging, reclaimed tour bus, and you are heading out away from Nuqua through the valley towards the nearby ancient shopping mall. And as you crest over the hill, you see, sure enough, this massive complex, which in its day would have been pretty impressive. I mean, you're talking sort of like Mall of America size, giant edifice of glass and stone and metal and advertisements everywhere and like a plethora of shopping opportunities. Except this mall is now like slightly tilted forward because it has begun to sink into the earth. Because the ground there in that area, because of upswells of groundwater and weird toxic waste and stuff, has begun to sort of like begin to sink into the earth.
Sub pump stop.
What's your first character's name?
Jax.
Hey Jax, you want some candy? It's one of those like the strawberry pineapple things.
Yeah. I think
it's
those
like the strawberry, but they have like pineapple.
I think those come stale. I don't think they're ever fresh.
It's those weird strawberry candies.
I'm a
I
robot.
think I know
what
what
do
you're
you
talking
think?
about.
Oh, are you sure?
Go away.
Fine.
She's personality 5.
That way.
Now, you can see as you approach, and you're cresting this hill, and you're heading towards the shopping
What
mall.
about you, Dina?
She looks at you with her filter mask on and just...
No one wants any candy.
Front
You
finger.
pick the one with a personality of 3.
You see, stretching in front, there is a sizable...
At least got an 11.
there's a sizable portion of fissured concrete leading to what looks like, to you, the front of the building. There's a series of...
I know
what
you
look
don't
like
want any, Tim.
probably glass doors, but they're covered in some kind of material. And you see that dotting the landscape of concrete there in the front of the mall are a series of rusted out cars dotting the landscape here and there. And there are also what looks like periodically some material, maybe metal, maybe stone or something, in little piles here and there. But you have an option now you can either drive straight towards this concrete strip, what they used to call a parking lot, and check that out straightforward, or you can sort of do a perimeter around the mall, try to drive around on the safest parts of the off-road and get a kind of a lay of the land.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that one.
Okay. Then I want so pick your best character, right?
Your best. It doesn't have to be number 1.
Pick your best character for intelligence.
Doesn't have to be number 1.
Doesn't have to be number 1.
Okay.
So.
You're essentially you've got 4 you've got 4 pieces on the board and you're choosing when and how to use them. Right?
So what do we roll?
So you're rolling your action die, D20, and then you're adding your intelligence mod.
20.
20.
6.
3. 18. So immediately,
Tim.
what character is that? So Tim the Toolman Taylor. So you have circled the mall now. You've done a sweep of the perimeter. As you come back around to spot the parking lot area. You realize that those bits in the parking lot, those are piles of bones, actually. Human or animal bones, like large piles here and there. And you can tell that there are some bits of metal and tarp and everything on the ground in sort of what appears to be a random arrangement in the parking lot. And you can tell that those are artificial. Those have been placed intentionally. Those are probably trapdoors for something.
Okay.
You realize that there is a safe path. You see, okay, if I sneak there, hook around there, there is a safe path through the parking lot to head towards the very front entrance that's still intact. And next to that, you can see as you're pulling around, there is a what looks like a truck delivery bay. It's a sort of large area that you could drive 2 trucks into in a sort of a loading section. So you had a 6, is that right?
Sure did.
You see that next in the ruins of the parking lot, scattered about, there are several shopping carts that look like they're pretty serviceable. You could probably use them to sort of move things about, right? If you collect some stuff to put in the tribute truck and chuck those in there, you could use that as kind of like a easy way to carry them around. You can also hear, as you approach, now that you've gotten a little bit closer to the parking lot, this low thrumming sound coming from the parking lot. It's pleasant. It's rhythmic and soft. And what character has the animal?
This one, Lucy.
Okay. Lucy's what is it? Is it an otter?
No, it's
a ferret.
It's a ferret? Okay. Lucy's ferret, seems to be responding to that thrumming noise and is now sort of skittered on to the one of the open windows of this tour bus and is actively, seeming to sort of sense.
Show them back in my shirt.
Okay. It's sort of squirming around and they're wanting to check out what's going on in the parking lot. So you get so what did you get? 3. 18. Okay. So your character, Lance, you realize that it looks like as you were passing around, going from heading west around and then coming back to the east, as you were heading west, it looked like there was a pile of rubble on the southwest side of the mall as you were coming around to the left, and you thought you saw what looked like either a hallway or a passageway. It looked like there was light coming through the area of rubble. Possibly that may be an area that you could enter into if you were to clear the rubble, or maybe it's simply just camouflage. Maybe there's a way to sort of bypass the rubble altogether and head in. So that's an alternate entrance for you, apart from the 2 at the very front of the mall, the truck bay, and then of course the bay of glass doors.
So Aviator wearing Corkel, who's probably foot on something, 17 personality, 18 stamina. It's
Put on somebody else.
It's over there.
Yeah.
There's that pile. There's probably a door behind it. They're trying to hide it.
We've got the loading bays. We can use those. Just got to be careful. Don't get close to any of the tarps and piles. Probably some sort of trap. We want a vehicle falling.
Sound.
I don't know.
Am I attracted to it with
That
the
sound is,
actual animal
the
person?
Black Rainbows. They're apparently playing Solar System.
It's funny.
Anyway.
Is our
And following us around.
what is it? Not Badger.
The Badgerman?
The Fossorian.
Fossorian actively "Ooh, what's over there?"
There's a little bit of sympathetic vibration there. There's something it's that feeling you get when you have to sneeze but can't. It's something is about that is bugging me, but not as strongly a reaction as Lucy's ferret.
What about
I think I got some allergies,
The
man.
pig is is actively snorting and sniffing at the parking lot, wanting to check out that thrumming noise.
Yeah, I thought all the trees died.
Easy, Susie. I didn't see shit.
The badger person with the cocaine habit.
So
We're gonna go or
is-
not?
Jax is driving. Is there a clear path to drive up to the truck bay?
Now, because of Tim the Toolman Taylor's check, with his help, you could see the path that you could sort of wind through the parking lot and drive into the truck loading bay. Yeah.
Male human who makes odd noises. Come here.
Uh-huh.
Yes, that one.
Start directing. Yeah, help direct through this mess to the loading bay.
Yep, we'll pull one up there.
Okay, now, actually, I need you to do a vehicle control roll.
I don't want to.
Here we go.
Okay. What kind of...
Just immediately lose half the party.
Strength, personality, what is it?
So what
Why
it is?
did I have to be in the bathroom when we did nose ghosts?
Now this is the time. To
Everybody
split the
knew I
party.
was gone.
This is the time to split the party.
Four to
half,
each.
violently.
4 to a team.
So you've rolled your d20, right?
I was
Take these.
Okay, roll d20.
Yeah, all
Right.
4 of each person goes.
Add your agility bonus,
Groups of 8.
okay.
and then +1 for the vehicle's reflex,
Okay.
and the speed level handling mod, which I don't know what that is.
I guess modifier for how fast you're going.
Yeah,
So it would
Probably
assume.
not fast at all.
Yeah. So
let me double check.
nothing or a bonus.
Handling stuff.
You might get a plus if you're going like 15.
Made at that speed rate.
Yeah. Going
Okay,
slow.
so you're just cruising right now. So -1, so that's going to cancel it out. So your d20 plus your agility bonus is what?
7.
7.
Didn't roll well.
Okay.
So
So
what rolls well? The vehicle we're driving.
But for how much longer?
So as you are piloting this rickety tour bus through trying to do this
3 rolls.
snaking path through the parking lot, you find that there's an area where it seems like there are 3 of these sort of piles of material and scattered bones everywhere in a tight location, and you're trying to figure out, okay, you're going to have to try to thread that needle. There's no other way to get around without simply driving over one of these trap doors.
Shoot the gap!
So you adjust the vehicle, you grip the steering wheel, and you begin to drive forward. And sure enough, you do your best, but one of your
Use those
tires
calculators.
tips into the trap door. And suddenly, the 4 of the nearest trap doors burst open, and out of them are climbing these horrifying creatures. They look like giant spiders.
Nope.
They look like giant spiders crawling out of these trap doors, essentially,
Dang it, now I have to bring up number 4. Number 4's got the perfect weapon.
with these giant
A
sort
giant
of
book.
spider-style double pincing
Mandibles?
sort of bites. But they also have the texture and also the limbs of a frog.
Whoa.
Webbed.
Neat.
This this explosion essentially of these spiders rocketing out of the trapdoors, including the one that your wheel dipped into, it overturns your car, and all of the passengers are sort of like thrown out. Admittedly, because it was a cruise speed, pretty safely. But you're now all scattered out in the parking lot as these toad-like spiders begin crawling towards you and trying to grab you and drag you back into their lairs. Roll initiative, please.
For
Roll
everyone.
4 times?
No. Roll initiative once
Ah.
with
and
your
then
best
add-
person.
Oh.
Ah.
Okay.
And then the
Wait,
group
so
goes.
we said slingshot was 2-handed, so it becomes a D16?
Yes.
If that's your best person.
Well, that's my first person.
5.
Just do best or
Just
first?
choose your best person. Because basically it'll determine like what player is going to go. And then you'll decide, okay, I want this guy to do this, I want this guy to do this. And just it's simpler that way than making 16
Yeah.
initiative rolls, right? So Stephen got a what?
5.
5. Cool. Robert?
9.
9. Lance?
17.
17. Rich?
12.
12. Very cool. Okay. Initiative. Okay. Okay, so we've got our 4 spiders. First of all, Lance, your people are going first.
So Tedx kind of just like jabs his knife, kind of, forcefully to Maddox to get him to act. Since he's the one who rolled. He's like, oh, fine. I'll, tries to hit.
Okay. Which one are you hitting? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Let's see. 1.
Okay, let's try to hit number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Nope. That's a 5.
So a 5 is a miss. So what is your character using?
Slingshot.
Okay, so ping, and this smooth stone flies by and actually pops off the top. Basically ricochets off the top of the toad spider, and it doesn't seem to notice at all.
You see, I hit it. I hit it.
Next for you, Lance. Who's going next?
Oh, I just keep on going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Continue going.
it's simpler that way. Just to have our players. It's in funnel situations like
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Push him in.
Okay. So Corporal go up with the spear.
Spear towards which one? Number 1.
Uh,
There are 4 sort of
Yep.
surrounding the party at this point.
we'll go for number 1.
Okay, what'd you roll?
That would be a 8.
8. That is a miss as well. You thrust out at the spear, and the spider is able to skitter out of the way.
That's 6.
6 is also a miss.
8.
Usually you're the
8?
lucky one.
Yeah.
You rolled a 10.
I got a -2 strength.
Very cool. Okay. That is also a miss. So your people are just sort of feebly like stabbing at
Do
these
I get a
spiders.
bonus for using the weapon of phobia of all spiders? A book?
It wouldn't be enough to put you over. Yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you a +1 because you're using a book. But no, that is a miss. Okay. So next up is Rachel. Your characters are going.
Alright, so Jax is going to go first with tire iron.
Jax is trying to bash one of them with a tire iron. Okay.
Yep, seems appropriate.
Yeah, my book wearing
I
is
got a nat 20.
Natural strength. Okay, that's a critical hit. So what I want you to do is roll your critical die.
So my damage is 1d3 -2.
My
right?
critical die?
Critical die, please.
You do 1.
I got a 3.
You got a 3.
Yep. Do I need to roll my damage too, or?
I think depending on what the table does. I've got a quick table up if you want to use that.
I think there's a specific one for... Yeah, here we go.
Crit table 1.
Does
Yeah.
the app do?
Yeah,
As
it's got lookup mode in case you want to just...
Yeah, the application.
Yeah. So if you can give me the table and the number, I can look at
It's
it.
just table 1, then, because
Okay.
you're using melee weapons, so it just covers like firearms and grenades and stuff. And
Mhm. So it's what? What was the roll? Is it
3.
3? Winner is... Stunning crack to the forehead. Inflict 1d3 damage with this
Plus
strike.
1d3.
Plus 1d3 damage with this strike. And the foe falls to the bottom of the initiative count next round.
So it's 3 damage. Because it does d5, so I'd roll a d10 and then cut it in half.
in half.
So it's 2 damage, and then I rolled a d6, but I got a 1, so
Yeah, that'd be 1.
That'd be
1. So 3.
3 damage, okay. So, Jax with their tire iron beans one of the toad spiders right in between the array of eyes it has on its scaly, moist skin.
Yum.
You hear like a sunken sort of thudding noise, and you see, and it begins to rise up slightly and jitter its legs about.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright, next.
So it sounds more frog-like.
Yes.
It's a little above.
So,
In fact, as it makes that sort of sound in pain, you realize that you're not hearing the thrumming sound anymore that you were hearing.
Oh,
And sure enough, the toad spider's throaty sort of exclamation
That's
sounded like it was in the same sort of pitch
oh god,
range.
was that their mating call?
alright, Elsie will go next with the sling.
Sounds good.
Just looking for
Okay.
Budweiser, man.
Now that is a missile weapon, right? So it's agility instead of
Yep.
strength. Right?
Yeah, that's a 6.
6. That's a miss.
Okay, Lilda will go with the staff next. That's a 11.
11. Also a miss.
Seriously?
Swing of a staff.
Okay. And Lucy will go with her spear next. 8.
8 is also a miss. So Jax gets that lucky shot off, and the rest of them are sort of with their weapons, the staff and the spear, just trying to essentially keep
Keep
the
them
toad
at bay.
spiders at
Come on, guys, hit it! I at least hit stone. Hit him.
Robert, your character's
No,
ready.
you didn't.
It hit him. Didn't you see it bounce off?
Okay, Dina, the
bounced
feral
off.
urchin, is going to charge at number 3 with a pickaxe.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
need a bigger rock, though.
Ooh, that looks good.
14.
Anyone got
14's a hit, absolutely.
This is definitely left.
So roll your damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
2
not the worst
damage.
personality either.
2 damage.
Jax is contemplating ways to kill him in his sleep.
See, I just had bad intelligence.
trip him
That's
and
why I
gabble.
didn't figure out
And-
he wouldn't want candy.
Both Gina and Lena, the twins, are
It's bad
going
luck.
to go for number
Guys.
4.
I'm tired.
For number 4. Okay.
Winded.
So that's a 12 and an 18.
Anyone got some water?
Both of those
Anyone
hit.
tap in?
Why don't you go have a seat on the bus?
That sounds good. Oh,
Another 2 damage, and...
Sit this one out.
Boy.
1
Oh.
damage.
One thing to note, that if you successfully hit with a melee weapon, you add your strength mod to the damage as well.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
said,
that would have happened
So,
on
so
Jax's.
who was the one with the pickaxe?
mine's 23.
That was Dina.
Dina.
Two.
So Dina
For-
rushes
for my
forward,
book.
and the pickaxe like
It's always
actually
one.
penetrates the toad spider's skin, and there's like a spray of sort of green purple like clotted blood as it shoots out.
That sounds
Um,
delicious.
And then who was
Gina
Gina.
and Lena, the twins.
Gina and Lena
They're the twins.
attack number 4.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Gina's using a hoe,
Uh-huh.
and Lena's using a knife.
Okay. And how much damage did they do?
2 and 1.
Respect.
Okay. So, Gina and Lena essentially form a kind of like a pincer formation, one with the hoe and one with the knife. And they move forward at the same time using their sort of like twin-like senses. And with the hoe and the knife, actually sort of skewer the face of one of these toad spiders. You hear this guttural sort of pain groan, and it actually begins to jitter and then falls dead.
Couldn't tell who got the kill.
Death throws.
And of course, Mina, the older sister, will go last, and she'll go with. Who's up here?
1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 3.
Ah,
One,
You
two,
just
and-
killed number 4?
Okay, she'll go for 3, like our younger sister. So that's 12.
12 hits.
Okay, that's
I should mention they said in the text beat the DC, but in everything else they're like equal or almost fine.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So that is 2 damage.
2 damage to which one? Number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3.
And she's attacking with a screwdriver.
Go for the eyes.
Jams a
There's a
screwdriver
lot of
in
them.
one of the toad spider's eyes, and there's a hissing shriek, and then again a spray of this greenish purple blood.
I wouldn't let it get on you.
Yeah, no. Unless you're a mutant, then it's probably fine.
It's true.
Very good. Okay. Next, Steven, your character.
Hey! So 1, 2, and 3 are still up.
1, 2, and 3 are still up.
We'll have Tim and Bruce both go after number 3.
yeah, that's his
So
battle
there's
cry.
He gets a 6. And Bruce gets a 12.
12 hits.
All right.
They just keep on doing that. as
Swinging a
group,
chain.
and then
So Bruce is swinging his
Star War
chain.
cry.
Deals 5 damage
5 damage to which one?
to number 3.
Number 3. All right.
Apparently it's effective.
Bruce is good. And then
Is he pretty almighty?
no, it's just regular.
So Bruce whips his chain out. It wraps around one of the toad spider's
Legs.
spider-like
Toad-like.
limbs. You hear it cinches up. Bruce pulls. There's a crunching sound, a cracking sound, like you were opening up a lobster claw. And the spider actually begins to teeter off and tries to keep its balance. Ends up falling into its own sort of trapdoor hole, and you hear it just plummet. And you don't see that toad spider again.
Okay. But you do have a very large frog leg?
I guess so.
This is a spider leg.
Frog leg
So it's
crossed
like
with a
spider
lobster.
leg, spider leg, spider leg, and then just 2 like toad-like
Oh, I see.
arms.
Ew. God, that's gross.
It is
Yeah.
gross.
Should have grabbed one of the other ones. Could have put some salt on it.
Kevin Costner is going to go after number 2.
Of course he would.
The,
Now, does this Kevin Costner have the shitty accent that he had in Robin Hood Robin Hood.
I don't remember Kevin Costner having
Prince
an
of Thieves.
accent in
No.
Waterworld, do you?
In Waterworld, no, but in Prince of Thieves, he had a terrible accent.
Well,
So then no accent. He's
Yeah.
going very much
just,
so Waterworld.
Just regular,
Yeah.
regular world.
It swings and misses with a 5, I'm going to assume, with that
Yeah.
shovel.
Nah, that shovel is batted out of the way by one of the toad spider's limbs.
And Lizzie's coming at number 2 with a mop. And we'll also whiff with a 7.
All right, so Mop, you managed to just slightly moisten one of the toad spider's eyes, but other than that,
it's a little cleaner now.
Moisturize.
next we have the spiders. Okay,
I mean, imagine if you
So-
hadn't wrung that thing out. It's going to get nasty.
spider number 1 is going to lash out at Tedix, the food checker.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It's TEDx. It's for the.
That is a 21 to hit
Oh,
Tedix.
Jesus.
It's the express version of the TED Talks.
Okay.
And just like TEDx,
Okay.
It's going to be over pretty quickly here, I think.
So 3 points of damage
Woo! Still up.
Hey!
as the toad spider takes a giant bite into, sort of sideways into Tedix's torso. Blood pouring out of his mouth. Still alive. And the other spider rushes.
He's supposed to be the lucky one.
The other spider rushes towards Kevin Costner.
No!
And tries to kill Kevin Costner. Thank you for allowing me to say that.
Yes. That's half the reason why I picked those names.
That is a 21 as well.
That'll hit.
So that is a. Where did my dice go? I had a D6 around here somewhere. There we go.
Right there. 2. It's not looking good for Kevin Costner.
Another 3 damage.
Kevin Costner is down.
Okay, so real quick, if you get down to 0 HP, you don't die immediately.
But
Okay.
it's not looking good.
But it ain't good, especially for a 0 level character. So, when you die, or when you... Oh, no, I'm sorry. A 0 level character that reaches 0 hit points is irrevocably killed. So Kevin Costner is dead.
One down.
3 to go.
Shovel clatters to the ground.
At least he went out on his high note of Waterworld, I guess.
Mistakes were made.
So
You
next
even get to dances with wolves.
we're back up with Lance. Lance, your characters are ready to go again.
That's a note.
Number 1, number 2.
12.
12 to hit. That's a hit.
Who's swinging at what?
Which one are you swinging at? Number 1 or number 2?
Which one hit TEDx?
Tedix, number 1 hit.
So number 1.
Return fire.
6 damage.
6
Nice.
damage. Okay, now what was this character using?
Spear.
Spear. So spear, right in there, sort of catches the toad spider just above where its pincers are coming out, and actually cuts through and actually essentially opens up the spider's face. It's a steaming blast of hot gas and greenish purple fluid as it crumples to the ground.
Probably got like some blood on the
Oh,
sunglasses.
definitely.
and
Yeah,
he's like,
absolutely.
You alright?
Next.
That's a 6.
Nope. Feeble swing.
Oh,
Natural 20. Very good. That's a
with the
critical
book?
hit.
Okay.
So, roll a d4.
Yeah, I can look it up. Give it a roll.
I got one as well.
I managed to pull it out finally. So, between the two.
Jabbed in the eye, ugly bruising. Inflict an extra d4 damage with this strike.
All right. Sounds good.
Very nice.
So, regular damage dice, and then your
So,
d4.
Is this the book?
that's 4 damage.
Nice.
Okay. Plus the d4 that you're already doing.
I do a d4, or I guess it's technically d3 minus 2. So
Okay.
it's always going to be 1
Oh, I see. Plus your d4. Cool.
plus
got
the
it.
d4.
Got it. Okay.
So this is the book then.
So 4 damage.
Yes. Wow.
So you take your book, and the pointy end, not where the spine is, but where the pages come together. The pages are
The corner.
turned. The corner goes into the toad spider. One of the toad spider's eye, and it sort of bursts like a bad zip, And there's this sort of this vitreous humor that's pouring out of the wound, and it's shrieking and groaning, and it is not happy whatsoever.
So gross.
You have 2 characters left, don't you? Or 1?
Nope. That was the last.
Is everybody's? Oh, that's right. 'Cause
2 misses.
Yeah, 2 misses. Okay, Rachel, you're back up.
Okay. Jax with a tire iron. 9.
9 misses. Swing and a miss with a tire.
Nope. That's a 7.
That's what's going to happen. The book guy's going to crit every single time to actually deal
Oh, wait.
damage.
Hold on, at least. No, that's initiative. My bad. So that was 4. And that was a 10. I'm putting this D10 20 away. It's done for the evening.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Robert, your characters.
Okay, Dina's up again. She's going for number 2.
Now remember, if you're doing
Out
a
comes
melee
the big
attack,
ass.
you add your strength mod. If you're doing
And she
I
misses.
know.
Yeah.
All of them are zeros or
The twins are
negative
going
ones.
after number 1.
a... Twins are going after number 1.
So
Well,
I got,
number 2 is the only one left.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
only 1 spider remaining.
So I got 19 and 11.
19 hits.
Okay.
We found what we need.
She does 3 damage.
3 damage with what?
A knife.
So, is that's Lena?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Lena, the pharmacist, takes her knife, and as this spider is sort of like hissing and his eye is steaming and is backing up and sort of taking large chunks of the parking lot concrete with it, she takes the knife and jabs it directly into its forehead, and it just sort
Fly
of
directly the floor.
and you see the spider instantly seize up, flip over on its back, and then its legs sort of curl in on itself.
Yum.
Head count. Who's dead?
We only lost Kevin Costner, right?
One down. You only had 2 hit points anyways. Wasn't going far.
You okay, Teddy? Not really.
I wish I had one of those like giant stamps,
Stamp
like.
No, that's the book. Just
So just try to keep track and just put a big X or like whatever. Like this guy is
Erase the
definitely.
hit.
In fact, what is fun is that hold on just a
you
second.
can cut those out.
Yeah, because there are dotted lines, you can literally cut
Out of
them
them
out of
out.
the character sheet.
They no longer exist.
I tell you what, when a character dies, cut the rectangle out, give it to me, and I will keep it.
Excellent.
So we can eulogize the dead after we're done.
All right. Sounds good.
We're going to have Tim pick up Kevin Costner's scratch-built water filter.
Yeah, keep in mind that these corpses, if they're like intact and like available to the other, they can just take their
Loot 'em.
stuff. Yeah.
So Jax probably goes over and rifles through the body.
There's a shovel, a pair of kitchen shears, and a sling, as well as 8 CP.
Definitely those CP are mine.
Ching.
Don't want to waste them.
Yeah.
There we go.
Teddy's is like, I'll take the sling.
Yep.
Just put me in the back line.
Poor Kevin Costner.
Died so young.
He was like, when he's doing water, he's like 38.
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
that?
Not young
So
anymore.
you have survived the ambush of the toad spiders, which, by the way, look like this. If you were wondering.
I wasn't. So no, thank you.
So,
Yep, hard and open that.
that's what that's... Okay. So you are now despite the parking lot being disturbed, bones have been scattered. 4 of the trap doors have been sort of burst open, flipped over. The rest of the parking lot seems, again, that thrumming noise is gone, and the rest of the parking lot seems empty and undisturbed.
Alright, should we get those shopping carts and then take them to that? You can move the rubble.
Sounds good.
I love this character.
Yeah, Tim will go off and help drag some shopping
Yeah,
carts over.
we'll get some carts in.
Okay, so how many carts are you going to kind of cobble together?
I figure probably I'll have Tim and Bruce go, and they'll each grab 1 cart.
Sure.
So they can potentially load stuff up.
Okay, sounds good.
Lizzie's got the bike, so she's going to be mobile.
Okay, so we've got 3 shopping carts in total.
Lena and Gina take 1.
Okay,
Well,
5.
The twins.
That's Portal will get 1. Get 6.
Up to 6.
6
FedEx climb inside of it.
6 carts.
Push him down.
So we got 6 carts, and you are now. So you've got those kind of corralled together. Now, where are you heading? again, there is along that safe
tank, bro.
along that safe winding path that Tim was trying to guide you through. You can see in the distance that there is essentially a bank of 8 glass doors. These are 30 feet. The doors themselves aren't 30 feet wide, but the whole bank of these 8 doors is 30 feet wide. It looks like they've been repaired. You can see particle board and obvious, like, massive strands of duct tape that have sort of helped to sturdy and just a big sturdy and repair these doors. They are all currently shut. And then to the west of that, just off to the left, is the truck delivery bay, which looks like it's big enough to probably fit 2 semi-trucks in for unloading. And there's what looks like a large metal machine. It's difficult to make out what exactly it is at this moment.
Okay, so who said what was trapped? Didn't say something looked trapped with the front doors?
No, the thing the spiders came out of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Truck doors?
Whoops.
Whatever.
How about we go in the truck entrance?
Sounds good.
I'm gonna.
Okay, so
Should we
you're all
flip over the car and put pocket in there?
with the rickety carts and the wobbly wheels.
That's
you-
if we don't move it.
Parking lot.
We could do it later.
You move into the
It's not moving.
the truck delivery bay, and you see that this place is like there's water damage and weather damage, large portions of concrete and paint that's been chipped off. But it looks like, sure enough, there are 2 sort of loading ramps, both of which have been sort of pulled down. They're the same kind of like metal sheeting that covers the back of a moving van, for instance. So those have been extended down, and those reach towards the bottom, and both of which you can walk up to this sort of second layer. You see that off to the left there is this large machine. It looks like it has make an intelligence check if you want to know what this machine is. Any of your characters will be fine.
Tim sets to work.
Okay.
20, yet again.
All right.
9.
5.
So Tim the Toolman Taylor knows a machine
Knows
when he sees one.
machines.
So he immediately recognizes this as one of those ancient industrial garbage compactors. And Tim also notices that around the garbage compactor, there's this sheen of shiny fluid. It's difficult to make out exactly what it is, but you know that it's obviously unsteady around that area. So any attempts to get in close to the garbage compactor and check it out, you'd have to navigate this weird fluid that's on the ground.
A second 20?
Second 20? You recognize, so what character is that?
This is Torko. Takro.
Takro the researcher?
Yep.
So in your readings, you happen to read one of the industrial manuals that is common in not salvage, but sewage and trash pickup and everything like that. You know that those things are powered by hydraulic fluid. So it's probably hydraulic fluid that's pooling around the garbage compactor.
The machine might not work. No fluid.
Why would
It's
you
all-
want
all
it?
leaking.
Why would you want it to work anyway?
You can get inside. Trash compactors will usually have a connecting part inside. Most people don't think about it for security.
So, yeah, you go ahead and get inside the trash compactor.
Now, the garbage
if you want.
compactor is separate from the facility.
Oh,
It's like
actually
it's a
separated from it.
freestanding unit, I
Okay.
should say. Now, you do notice that off to the side, off to the right of the garbage compactor, just off, inset into the wall of one of the walls of the truck delivery bay, is a door. It's a metal door, again shut, but it looks heavily corroded. Like it's got that sort of rusty brown sheen to it, and there are parts that look like that they are the metal is thinned considerably.
Well, It's basically a giant book. Could kill a lot of spiders with it.
Can get them in it.
Yeah.
Why don't we just open the door?
Yeah, let's give that a try.
We'll walk up and grab the corroded door handle and
Okay.
yoink it open.
You pull, no give. You push, no give. It's pretty shut in there. You can make a strength check if you'd like to try to force the door open.
See what happens.
Come on, dice rolls.
18.
Very good. So that character takes a moment and then shoves, and the whole heavily corroded door just comes off of its hinges and clatters inside the hallway there.
It's open.
Knock, knock.
Nice.
At the same time,
Staff out.
What's in here?
so you see this hallway now that the corroded door is fallen off of its hinges and inside. Are you heading into the hallway, or like what's your game plan here?
You'll have Tim
Yeah.
right behind you.
Yeah, I'll go on in.
So who's taking point? Is what I need to know.
Tim
I
will be
guess-
up there.
I guess Lola and Tim will take point.
Okay, so which one? Choose between these, because it's a narrow enough hallway that you can't.
I see.
I mean, it's a little cramped. You could fit two people side to side, but ideally you're looking at one for comfort's sake.
Okay. Well, if you open the door, your choice. Who you
Okay,
let in
that's
first?
fine. I'll take point.
Okay, so Lola takes point.
With her
Again,
staff
is
out.
now stepping on the corroded door. Clunk, clunk, clunk. And then you hear what sounds like a noise.
Freeze.
I need you to do a reflex save, please.
So it's plus agility.
Okay.
It's gonna be great, isn't it?
It's gonna be awesome.
Everything's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything
That's
is
a
awesome.
A 4?
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
That's a lot of dice.
Okay, so Lola takes 5 damage
Lola's dead.
as Tim, the Toolman Taylor, sees a solid horizontal blade, much like you'd have in like a tree sawing blade, right? Falls from the ceiling and essentially divides Lola in half vertically.
Please.
You see the back half of Lola and fall against the metal door, and the front half slump into the hallway.
I thought that was the unlucky one.
Lola has a bow and 8 arrows, 2 large animal pelts, a staff, and a small handsaw.
I think Tim's gonna pick up that bow. And the 8 arrows. Said it's a 1d6?
1d6.
Okay.
Magox quickly behind picks up the furs.
Nice.
Can never have too much furs.
He really likes his fur, doesn't he?
Jax is going to take the staff. Oh, and she had 27
CP?
CP.
Throw that in. Got it.
27 child bar.
Gross.
Looking up to that gas credit.
Oh man! Now I'm feeling hot. Now I just feel more sweaty. That was a bad decision.
So this dark hallway, it is
Just push him to the front.
Yeah. You go first.
Oh god! It's
so
happening again.
who's on point?
Magox.
Has been pushed to the front. Well,
Mogox?
so you all make bad decisions, so we'll put you in front then.
You see, so the 7 intelligence plus the chaos. It's
He'll be fine.
Jax, the neutral robot, just grabs you and goes, "You do it."
So Mogox sort of
you didn't say nose goes.
stomps around the corroded metal door and the front half of Lola. So let me actually mark down. So Lola's dead. And Kevin
You know all I
Costner
got is a
is dead.
slingshot, right guys?
Of course, Steven and I's characters die first.
So it's sort of like trying to avoid the squishiness and the possible
I used to be the person who died first.
making his way through the hallway.
It's changed
This
that.
dark tile floor and peeling paint on the walls, and what looked like flickering fluorescent lights. Not that your characters would know exactly the term for that, but
Sure.
these tubes of active, like artificial lighting flickering.
Fancy.
You notice
What's
that
that, honey?
Mogox notices that this hallway ends in what looks like a T intersection. So you possibly go to the left and to the right.
Left it is.
As you approach and make towards the T intersection, you see that sort of off-center from the hallway are doors just in front of you to the left and to the right. You're also able to look down both ends, and you see that there are, sure enough, more hallway. The left hallway takes a 90-degree angle off to the right, and then the left hallway looks like it doubles back on itself.
I made the first decision. Who wants to go first now?
Everybody's just giving you that look.
Okay, left it is.
Okay, so you've come through the hallway and you're heading left, right? So you see that as you're heading left, there's that door that you saw as you were coming towards on your right, and there's another door on your left.
Left door.
So you can go in the door on your left. Okay. So this is a sort of a simple metal door with one of those sort of hook handles. So what character is this?
Mogox.
So Mogox is going, yeah. So Mogox tries the handle and it opens and is able to sort of slowly open the door. And inside you see what looks like a storage room. There are racks of sort of metal racks with that sort of mesh shelving, and you can see that there are all kinds of bits and bobs in here. Surely things that you could salvage and give in the tribute truck.
Hey guys, you got the shopping carts ready? I hit the jackpot. Even though I had my luck rolls to my salvage and it's -1.
So it might not be good, salvage, but it's salvage nonetheless.
So as you are you actively salvaging this room, trying to see what's inside?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're making your way through it, and a lot of the material, it looks like it's all, it looks like it's all perishable goods, like sort of pallets and crates and large bits of food that has obviously gone bad, like to the point of it being
Cans
poisoned.
are bloated.
Right. Like,
TEDx probably tries to eat some.
Botulism.
You know what?
oh, does he? Okay,
Go for it, Ted.
I need TEDx to make a fortitude save.
Okay.
He's going to prove to us once and for all whether this is safer to eat
18?
or not.
18, huh?
He might be okay.
I get +2 to bad food from Ted.
Yeah, he
Making
might be
good use of that.
He might be okay.
Jax will look at the bad food and go, if we give this as tribute, we won't have to do it anymore.
But then if somebody doesn't eat it, the survivors come and kill you. So there is that.
So
It's worth a
if
shot.
Ted is right in the shop car, he's like, yeah, give me
I imagine he's being pushed by and he's supposed to be putting stuff in the cart. He's just like grabbing it and opening it.
Nomming it. My computer chip says that this is not good food to eat.
Tastes fine to me.
But
Okay.
you're about that anyway.
So TEDx takes a bite of what looks like a gourd fruit or something like that, a smaller one that's been sort of in this small plastic crate, and it basically turns to ashes in his mouth. It is one of the worst flavor town experiences that he has ever had in his life. But luckily, he's able to
There's a
Stomach
character.
gets-
keep his stomach down, and other than it being very unpleasant, he seems to be okay. As you're making your way through the room, you notice that there
Should
are
have named him Guy Fieri.
actually there are several
So she's good
still
with bad food, not like
still intact cases of what look like foil wrapped food bits, rectangular food bits. It looks like okay. Who's among you? Tell me your intelligences.
13, 10, 8.
7,
16.
8, and 11.
10, 9, 9, and 8. Or 9.
Everyone with an intelligence of 10 or above can probably read.
Tim and Bruce.
Yeah.
So Lucy can read.
So those people notice that these foil-wrapped food bars, essentially, have got both on the cases and on the foil bars themselves. It says something about sports nutrition.
Mogox is the only one
Never
from
goes
mine. that can't read, or that can read. No, he's the only one who can't read. So.
Hey, Jax, come open this crate. My robot friend will come and open the crate with me.
Pop them open, start loading up.
Now these aren't crates; these are cases. So like you can
Okay.
see, it's like wrapped in plastic, and those things
okay.
are. So they're obvious. You can see that like, oh, these haven't been tampered with. And so
Okay,
you see a handful of cases. It looks like you can get 4 cases out of it. The rest of them have either been picked apart by bugs or have gone bad or what have you. So as long as you haul those into the shopping carts, that's heading towards your total.
Great.
If you want, I
Elsie
can.
and Lucy will start loading them into the carts.
I'll wrap them
Tim
in
will take one
plastic
as well.
bags if you need. Maybe make sure no water gets on them or anything.
Well, they're individually sealed,
Sealed.
right? They're like
They're like
Cliff
Cliff bars. or
like a
something.
protein
Yeah.
bar or
Oh,
something
Cliff
like that,
bar.
right? And they're
I
like
was thinking
big
of like powder.
big packages that people then
Whey
open up
protein.
and then stack in their displays or what have you. Okay, so you've cleared out that room.
Well, as long as it's in plastic, not like a cardboard exterior. If it's a cardboard exterior, then although they're individually wrapped, so
Yeah. So it might be like internal boxes, and then that gets wrapped to stick together.
Are the cases large enough that they take up more than one cart, or do all 4 fit in one?
No,
cart?
I mean you can.
So we'll just load down
Yeah.
one cart with the 4 cases.
Okay. So load it down one of yours then.
That's fine.
Are you sure that's smart? What if one card goes in that trap door?
Just don't push it in the trap door. We know where they are.
I'm just making hypotheticals.
We'll make a hypothetical and find hypothetically where we're going.
Dina
next.
goes to the door on the right and opens it. She's tired of it.
Oh, the one that as you were making that left into the T intersection, you see that one.
Take the
Yeah.
other direction.
Okay. You open that door. What was it? Mina did that? Dina. So Dina opens that door, and then inside, she sees what looks like it looks like an abandoned store. There are several sort of shoulder-high displays made out of that sort of like particle board that have been overturned. The whole place looks like it's already been heavily scavenged. There are little bits here and there. The various shelving units and hanging bits are in tatters and ruins. And it looks like what little bits remain that you can see like bits of shiny metal here and there. It looks like you'd have to take some time and really analyze the place to get anything out of it. You might be able to dig through the garbage, essentially, that remains and find something worth value.
How about we come back to it?
There's just shit in here. Let's go.
Alright.
Well, like something left something, or
Yeah, actual shit.
I
is
mean,
it a
those,
bear?
those spider
How big?
frogs. We're not in the woods.
Like, yeah.
You also saw when you were in that
Get me all scared, man.
storefront, Dina, that sure enough it was from. You looked like you had entered from the back area because the front area there were these large rolling metal doors that had been retracted into the ceiling that was opening up into what looked like a larger area of the mall, like a big sort of walkway. So you exited that room and headed back into the hallway.
Yeah, she's unimpressed.
Okay, so a lot of you are sort of huddled around the storage room where you found the sports bars. Where are you going next?
Okay.
We can go back out.
Mhm.
Go down the hallway some more.
Take the other direction.
Go ahead.
Get a room we didn't grab, or a room we didn't go in.
Well, there is the door that's right next to the one that Dina opened.
Okay, let's try that one.
Okay, so you're gonna open that up. So who's taking point?
Bruce will take point.
So Bruce opens
Oh,
the
thank
door, and inside, sure enough, based on what Dina described, it looks like another abandoned storefront. And there's this weird feeling that comes over Bruce as soon as he opens that door, like a sort of a numbing sensation on his fingers and toes and his extremities. Like there's something weird going on here. Inside the storefront are all manner of timepieces, right? Large grandfather clocks, alarm clocks that are meant to be put on bedside stands, and and those sort of like office rectangular ones. They're large ornate ones to hang on in foyers, and so they're just all scattered about the shop, and they all look in pretty decent condition. It looks like the place hasn't been touched.
He's gonna push the shopping cart like ahead, see if it can roll a little ways, and then make his way in and kind of poke around a little bit.
Yeah, so the shopping cart rolls in and sort of bumps against one of the display bits. Okay, so you're inside.
I probably like to look around, search around, see if there's anything aside from timepieces in here.
Okay, give me an int check.
Base roll.
2. Okay, so you're looking around and you're sort of overwhelmed by all of the faces, all of the ticking and everything. It's a very disorienting room. Let's see here.
From nothing to noise.
So, you're looking through, you're looking at the faces and things. It's God, the echo in here and everything. It's very difficult to make out whether any of this is worth grabbing and putting in the cart, especially since people don't really pay all that much attention to like the exact time anymore. As you're walking by a large grandfather clock, you see your reflection in the glass face, and you notice that there's like a sort of like a splotch on your cheek. Like that wasn't there before. It looks like it's like a dark sort of brownish or blackish spot that's sort of formed there on the skin.
Gonna do the classic like reach up and touch it.
Yeah, that's definitely there.
Real.
Yeah.
Male human.
Something's going on in here. He's
Then
gonna
come
leave
out of the room?
out the front, so into like the bigger part of the mall. If that.
So
rolling
you're
door is
making
still-
through it. You can see that up ahead, it looks like the ceiling has collapsed, cutting off your entrance into the mall proper.
Turn around and get out.
Give me a will save, please.
Straight roll. Natural 20.
Fair. Okay. So as you are approaching the door, you feel yourself getting unusually tired. It's taking more and more effort to just move your feet along. Eventually you make your way to the door and you slam it shut. And you turn to face the rest of your compatriots. And you can see that Bruce is looking at... It was Bruce that came in, right?
Yeah.
Bruce is looking... he looks a little tired, a little haggard.
Can I take like a sniff of his clothes to figure out what was coming off in that room?
The Fossorian doing a sniff? Maybe?
No, the intelligent one.
Sure, yeah. Do an in check. Yeah, why
The
not?
bookman.
The bookman.
I'd like to do it too. When you're
Yeah, sure.
15.
15.
11.
11. Okay. So the researcher takes a look and like, there's no real... I mean, you're not getting a smell there other than Bruce's inimitable mix
Natural
of
musk.
oils and musk and so on. But
What about the veterinarian?
Tokro does notice that veterinarian doesn't really notice anything.
Okay, sorry.
Tokro does notice that as a detail-oriented person, it looks like Bruce has a nice new gray hair on the front of his sweep of...
So he's going to the
Really
like
greaser.
elderly biker.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's just a single strand, but otherwise, like you saw Bruce before. This was like jet black.
Jet black.
Along with like the
Greased.
purple and like
With actual
the
grease.
blotch.
Yeah, you notice those things. They're like those weren't there
With the
before.
horn. Like liver spots.
God. How old are you again?
I feel like I'm getting older by the second. Let's get out of here. You lead the way, furry one.
Okay.
So which way? Right. So you're going right past the door you just opened.
How'd I get put in the lead again? God damn it.
Because no one likes you.
So Mogox is on point. Okay.
See
Yeah,
all those
Dina just
jacks.
flipped you off again.
Literally everywhere.
Everybody's just like side-eyeing him, like, soon.
This is what he's
And
my
Jax
love
is literally
stat
just
character,
like,
which is
no
why
one
I put
likes you.
him
Go
as
away.
my number one.
Oh, yes.
So Mogox, You are heading forward. I assume you're going the way that you were going. Right?
Yeah.
You're just going past that place with all the clocks and just moving around. Okay. So, let's see here.
Almost lost 2.
That was close one, man.
Like an elderly biker, though. That's kind of cool.
You are now.
Mogox needs to make a reflex save.
No.
As suddenly everyone hears the sound.
9.
9, you say.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Come on.
So 9.
Well, but then who are we going to have go in the front?
One of the twins.
Okay.
So,
Now all 4
Mogox
of us are
takes-
giving you the finger.
Mogox takes 2 points of damage
Okay.
as you see that from a what looks like a mechanism that's been wired to the very top corner where the ceiling meets the wall, has shot out a series of what looks like nails, like an industrial nails, that have embedded themselves in Mogox's neck and shoulder.
I can take those out if you want.
I think I'm just like rolling on the ground. Like, no. Those aren't coming out.
It only hurt a little.
Toolman, you have a hammer, right?
The rest of you see
Flips to the claw hammer side.
over
I got a crowbar.
over Mogox's writhing form, you see that there is a door at the end of the hallway, and sure enough, that there is a 90-degree hook to the right.
We can use them as salvage. Get them out. Get them out. We can salvage.
All right, Tim's going to try to remove some nails from this guy.
Wait. Use the crowbar. Use the crowbar. That might work a little bit better.
You got the claw hammer part of the hammer, right? You can
You
pop
can
the
get
nails
some
out
leverage
there.
on.
Okay, so you take a moment to remove the nails that have been shot into Mogox. You realize that they are looking a little bit gnarled and rusted, so like they're not going to be worth anything.
Oh, put him back in.
He's already got tetanus.
I'll do it.
Don't worry about it.
Flip the hammer around. Yeah.
He'll
Dead.
like grab you by the hand
Wasted.
and pull you up. All right, up and at him. Keep going.
Okay, so as I said before, there's a door at the end of this hallway, and there's a 90-degree turn to the right.
Let's go to the
You're
door at the end
being
of the hallway.
pushed on.
I think
Directed.
now it's abnormally slow. It's just like I'm not even.
There's that extra little like push where you're kind of like stumbling forward every now and again.
How come Teddy gets to be in the cot and I don't, huh?
So where are you heading? Where are you all heading?
Your choice?
Still pushing these shopping carts along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dragging in some cases.
Sure. So where are you heading?
Can I at least get like a staff, to? Yeah.
Jax will take the staff and just put it in the middle of your back.
Just push.
And I just like fall over. I fall and can't
He's
get
the only
up.
one who's going to live. The sole survivor.
My shoulder.
So again, there's a door in front of you at the end of the hallway, or you can just continue past that door, hook right.
Dina is once again tired of this shit and just goes up and opens the door.
So that door,
At the
okay.
end, yeah.
So Dina opens that door, and again, it looks like you've entered a storefront from the rear. But most of this room is, you see, is like covered in this massive, essentially almost like a rock slide of debris. Like there's ceiling particles and bits of metal and everything. Most of this room has been cut off by what looks like a ceiling collapse, dirt and rock and so on. But there's enough moving around room in here, and you see that there are a lot of what look like plastic containers and large bins and things like that. You could probably get something out of this pile that might be salvageable.
There's shit in this room that may not be shit. Let's go check it out.
That is a lot to it.
If we all cram in there, we're all gonna have to cram back out of there. So see if you can find something.
I will need an
We'll poke around.
int check to determine
Go, Dina.
if there's anything that'd be salvageable in the debris.
3.
Nice.
A 3, you say?
18.
18. Who did that?
Tokro.
Tokro. So Tokro, peering over Dina's shoulder, notices that right there. There looks like let's see here. There's a handful of plastic containers, about sort of storage-sized plastic containers that are still in good condition. They're not cracked or anything. They've even got the tops on them that seal nicely.
Very nice.
Good.
Start loading those up into Bruce's.
And those are going to take only a little bit of space in one of the carts. So there you go.
All right.
Bruce will load it up in his cart.
Sounds good. Now, now you've essentially exhausted this room, as the rest of it is just broken plastic bits or discarded lids, and then of course the rest of the shop that's been closed off by debris.
Great.
Well, it's more than nothing. Been having good luck when you're in lead. You want to keep doing that?
No.
Yes.
Mina says, all right, I'll go first.
So you leave that door and then turn to your right, and you see that this hallway looks like it ends in the distance in another T intersection, but there are 4 doors, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, before that T intersection.
Let's go to the left one first.
First left door. Okay.
Everybody take a door.
Right?
Just
So you open
back here.
this. You open this door, and it is full of what looks like eyewear, sunglasses, eyeglasses, that sort of thing. And it looks like it's been rummaged through. Like some things have been moved off of their display racks and so on. But otherwise, it's pretty much in order. It doesn't look like a mess like some of the other shops did. Will you take a few minutes to search the room?
Somebody want to search this room? I'm not real good at that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All you have to do is take a few minutes.
Yeah.
No int check required, because this place again is not a mess. It's actually laid out pretty cleanly and orderly. So you can. All you have to do is just take a little bit of time.
Lucille.
I think Corkel's looking for some new sunglasses.
Okay.
Just like looking at the mirrors, just on, off. Next one.
So, after taking 3 minutes to kind of case the place and then look and see, okay, well that one's broken, the frames are bad on that one. You find a handful of functional corrective glasses, that you can fold up and put in one of a sack or a plastic bag and chuck in the cart and actually use those as trivia. Because sure enough, even though this is the post-apocalypse, people still have eye problems. Yeah.
Those are hard to make.
Yes. They're hard to make nowadays, yeah.
Great. Luce will
Okay.
bring back out and put them in Elsie's cart.
Optical glasses. Of
Okay.
pain.
Lena goes to the right door.
The one directly across from
Yeah.
now? Cool. You open that door, and it looks like another storage area. Now, inside this room
Loading.
is another toad spider rolling it in.
As long as I don't have to look at the image.
The items in this room are. It looks like the shelves had collapsed, and so there's essentially this big mountain of trash and garbage in the middle of the room. You can see poking out what looks like it's like maybe some kind of like clothing. Maybe you're seeing fabric essentially wrapped in what looks like heavy plastic. You could probably dig those out, and those could be used for making clothing or maybe creating like sheets or what have you in the settlements. It's worth something.
Okay, Lena's going to try it.
Okay, so you're able to sort of paw at this pile of trash and pull out 2 of these bolts of linens and textiles and everything have been wrapped in heavy plastic.
Fantastic.
And nothing descends from above to destroy you.
Nothing.
So it's
No, you're good. You're not dead.
However, underneath.
So you do salvage that and bring those back to the carts.
Trapdoor
Pop those
number
in.
5. I told you.
Okay,
We
so
just take him and just chuck him in there.
Push him in.
all right. I open my 2 doors. Who's next?
Bruce is like, I'm a little tired. Tim will go up and open the next one on the right.
The next one on the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For a second, I thought this was
That
Clinton's
is
split.
what looks like another storage room. This time, that guy's gone forever.
Never to be
Where did it go?
I have no idea. See, I told you it's gone forever.
Goblin's got it.
Now, in this storage room, there is what looks like you're seeing like sacks or bags. In fact, they look like the kinds that you've seen some raiders wear that they call backpacks. There are these sort of metal flasks, these metal hooks that look like they have a little sort of door on the side. Large loops of neon-colored rope. And then what looks like wrapped gear for, like... You've seen some of this before. You've seen... is it Corkle? Who's got the tent?
TEDx.
You've seen TEDx walk around with something like this. It looks like camping or roughing it material.
I think people are living here.
Or they're storing their stuff there. Hold on, let's see if
Now,
this
these
works.
things aren't just simply laid out. They're like packaged.
Packaged away.
Yeah.
Nice.
You also notice in this room that, sure enough, there's another entryway where a metal door has been sort of rolled up to the top, and you can see what looks like a larger portion of the mall.
Okay. Yeah.
So are they like packaged, or are they just like hanging on hooks?
Packaged and hanging on hooks,
Okay.
depending on what type of item they are. You're able to salvage a considerable amount of this
Oh,
stuff.
definitely, yeah.
Chuck
Yeah,
it
let's
in.
get it.
I
Very
think
good.
Tim's definitely going to put like a backpack on with these packs of back.
Packs of back.
Stash them in the cart.
Did anybody ever end up finding the...
Yeah, I already picked it up to put it by you.
Where?
It's literally back in your pile of dice. It was the black and white D10.
Where's the other green?
Like it was never gone.
Huh?
Oh, here it is. I thought that was a D8. Cool. Everything's accounted for. Okay, so that was the door on the right, and sure enough, there's one remaining door on your left before that T intersection.
We just call it like camping gear. or
Yeah,
something?
basically camping gear. Yeah.
Bruce will grab that. So many characters. We'll have Lizzie push the door on the left open with the mop.
And say, Jax can do it with her staff if you don't want to.
We got
So-
the large mop.
So, sorry, Lizzie. Yeah, Lizzie the janitor uses the mop to force the door open. And as you force the door open, as you're even approaching the door, you hear what sounds like muffled, repetitive noise coming from inside. Specifically, you hear... You sort of use
Not
the
during
mop to
sense,
prop open the door. And inside, you see what looks like a large...
Do we have the German
you see...
Nazi vampire Beach Boys?
You see at the far end, the mesh grate that closes off the shop is about 3/4 of the way down. It looks like you could probably crawl under that to get to the front of the mall area. I'm sorry, when I said earlier, you were in the storage area, not...
Yeah,
But anyway.
from the other side.
Yeah. Inside the middle of the shop is a corpse that has been skewered, Cannibal Holocaust style, on a nasty spear trap. It looks like it's been jutted out of the floor. Most of you recognize that this corpse. You remember him from last
The
season.
Lister.
That it was Jethro or something. I'm trying to remember the name, but that was a halfling wanderer that sort of passed through the Nuqua Valley last season. And it sounds like the music, if it is music, it's a sort of repetitive, electronic noise, is coming from the corpse.
Lena goes to loot the corpse.
Step one.
Okay, sounds good.
Is this the legendary sandstorm?
There's no sand here.
So you can see that inside this. So who's going in to loot the corpse?
Lena.
Lena. So Lena goes in, pushing past Lizzie, and sees that, like the storage room, this place is filled with that kind of camping gear, essentially. It's a proper storefront, so there are proper displays and everything like that, as opposed to just things sort of stored in that back room. And you make your way over to the halfling wanderer, whose mouth is wide open and the spear is shooting right out of it, sort of drenched in blood. And you sort of pat down the corpse, and it's gross and sticky. And you find that there doesn't appear to be anything on him, with the exception of one thing. In a front pocket, in a vest that he's wearing, you pull out what looks like a small box, silver on one side, flat white on the other. And sure enough, this music is blaring from this device.
I thought it was going to be a Walkman, and somehow we had Druid Sandstorm on tape.
Embossed on this device
Walkman.
is this symbol. It looks like a disco ball or like a mirrored ball that has several hands and arms sort of coming out of it.
Well,
Now that you've removed this device from the Halfling Wanderer's corpse's pocket, the music is now louder.
hey,
you turn
smart
that
book
off?
guy, figure out how to turn this off.
22.
And an intelligence check? Very good. So
Natural
you,
20.
so you quickly realize, oh, I just pressed this button right here on the screen.
Better.
Yeah, now that looks valuable. Put it in the cart.
Somebody will pay for it. Be happy not to see it around camp.
Except someone heard that.
Well, it was going when you were approaching the river.
Yeah, but someone heard that it got louder and didn't go. Didn't
Sure.
stop.
Yeah.
Heard that it is no longer.
Now that the music's off, you're able to sort of concentrate, and you can see that, you can probably salvage a good portion, some more camping gear in this area
I'll
if you
put
take
it in
some
a
time.
plastic bag.
Lizzie
too.
will set to work with that.
Okay,
Jack's a
intelligence check for Lizzie then.
Wait, it's intelligence checks. Lucy will help her, not Jax.
7.
7.
So we're really going to need Jax to come through on this one.
21.
21?
I got a 9.
Well, slightly better.
9.
So
11.
they started making this.
11?
You get like 4 bags of it for $4, as opposed to like the big bag for $4.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you paw through these series of canteens and backpacks and these neon-colored, what looks like rope to you. And sure enough, all of it looks like it's been sort of like, it's been frayed, it's been torn out of the packaging and eaten away at by like bugs or rats or something like that. There's nothing salvageable here.
Well, great.
All of it's already broken, and it would take special materials to repair it, making it sort of worthless.
Yeah. All right, onward.
Odd thing. Paint shop has a lot of requirements of things that can damage the paint, and one of them is popcorn.
Huh.
It gets the oils in your sweat, and then the oils.
Oh,
act
right.
on the paint,
Yeah.
Causes it to crater.
I think Lizzie's going to try to help lift that rolling door up.
Okay.
Just so we can get the carts under.
Strength check.
That's what I'm visiting tomorrow. So probably should-
Strength check for Lizzie as she tries to lift this metal rolling door.
18.
This mesh gate, I should say. 18.
Damn.
Okay. So Lizzie,
Giant
with
suits, too.
with her notable
strength.
with her janitorial strength, I was about to say, like with her experience lifting large burdens, lifts this mesh gate
Buckets
up.
of them.
It retracts into the top and then locks. And sure enough, there's this open archway leading into another. It's like a large sort of sizable hallway running left and right, with tile and what looks like the occasional like large metal sign in the middle, and you can see what looks like up in the distance. You can see this sort of angled glass work, sort of a vaulted ceiling style.
Feels a lot safer in here. You can at least see things coming at you.
You see that looking to the left, the hallway is pretty quickly cut off by what looks like another collapse, large debris and metal bars and things like that, barring your entrance. But to the right, it looks like that there is another sort of wider area out there, either like a hub place or some kind of court or something that you could move into.
Let's gather up. Looks like we can go right.
Okay.
You also see directly across from you another sort of storefront, again with its mesh gate open, and then beyond that it looks like there's been a large portion of the wall that has been caved in. and it is leading into what looks like tunnels.
If there's tunnels, then I bet the spiders dug that out or something.
Don't badgers like tunnels?
Spiders, I don't like spiders.
Well, none of us like spiders.
Didn't you see a tunnel that you said was an entrance on the way in?
Yeah, that was more like rubble, and there was a door.
Could have gone to a tunnel. Why don't you go check that out? We'll be right behind you.
Yeah.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
I like how this is Bully the Badger.
You go that
No
way.
bully.
And we'll go this way.
Bully.
So
My
where-
only lawful character died first.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't have any lawful characters.
No such thing as lawful characters in
Nope.
the post-apocalypse.
Got two neutrals.
Except for Mad Max himself.
Jax is neutral with a personality
that.
of 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
in the
I
strict,
imagine
like,
that her give a
lawful
shit is
neutral
just never
follows a
made.
code when.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very much so.
So, where are we heading? Again, there's the
Open
left has
area?
been kind of closed off. There's the right, and then there's this open area directly in front, another storefront, and there's the tunnels.
I'd say go right. We don't want to go back out, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want to get more stuff.
You don't see daylight coming from those tunnels.
No,
like I say,
okay.
So it looks
I
like
think we should
they're
just-
into the earth.
I think we should at least exhaust what's in here before we go. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you turn right out of the shop with the skewered halfling, and you see
Can we pick
that.
up that spear?
No, it is sort of affixed
Damaged.
to the floor. Yeah, it's. You'd have to remove a whole halfling corpse and then try to lash the wood together and everything like that. It looks like it's in a bad way.
Bad spot.
So you're passing through, and you see on the left, looks like there are two skinny hallways. One of which has been, there's a lot of debris kind of collapsing it, sort of pinching it together. There's no way to get through there. And on the right side, there is another one of those metal doors. And then beyond that is this larger walkway that you're in sort of opens up into that larger court area, that open area.
Check the metal door.
Okay, so you so what do you do? Do you try to open it, or you're touching it, or what? What's going on?
That doesn't sound good.
You did
I
this.
just
Yeah.
got up. I just got no.
I mean, it's the classic question of you open a door, who's opening the door?
Lena is going to touch the door.
Okay, it's a cold metal. It's a lot. It looks a lot like the door that you saw in the truck delivery bay. It's kind of corroded, but it's considerably less corroded than the door that you saw. But it's another one, a solid metal door.
Okay, she tries the handle.
Okay, the handle moves, but the door doesn't want to give.
Oh, this is locked.
Try it the other
Lockpick?
way.
Try to like a pull.
Give it a good shoulder.
Yeah, that's not what I do.
What do you do?
Drugs.
I got some mushrooms.
You can at least try. It's not going to hurt you.
We can hallucinate that the door is open.
Shouldn't somebody who's actually strong try?
Well, you're not going to get strong if you don't try.
No, you're kind of an asshole.
gotta get gains.
Alright, she'll try.
20s happen.
9.
9. Okay, so you put your shoulder to it and try to force the door. This thing isn't budging.
It's not working.
I'll try it.
Okay,
Yeah, it's 10.
10. No budging. Not moving.
So even strong people can't do it. But at least you tried.
Yeah, you're still kind of an asshole.
Which one is doing this, like,
This
this Tony Robbins, like...
This is Bruce.
Okay. Hey, man.
Hey,
least
he's,
try.
he's got jaded in his old age.
Hey, man. Yeah, if I saw you on the street, I would fucking murder you. But now that we're here together, I believe in you.
Get off my lawn. But it's our lawn.
Together.
I'm trying to do donuts on the lawn in my Harley, so get off of it. Okay.
Bruce is going to try the door, why the hell not?
Sure, why
Shoulder
not?
it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I think this die
3.
needs to be retired.
3. So Bruce kind of touches the door, and his leather jacket gets a little caught in one of the pieces of metal.
Oh, come on.
Nah, fuck this.
No, it's not worth it.
All right, Jax will attempt. She's a robot. Why not?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can open it.
No, I can't roll anything. That's a 4.
The badger?
18.
18 for the badger. So the badger.
No, it's not the badger.
Okay.
It's Corkel. So he
Corkel.
gets his own
Sunglasses.
leather jacket, adjusts the leather jacket. He's like,
Oh, so he's the aviator guy. Yeah. So he pushes forward and does some flexing. Yeah, all right, welcome to the gun show. And then he braces himself against the door and puts all of his might into it, and it doesn't budge.
Fine, different door.
It's a little embarrassing for Corporal.
it's not opening, guys. I got a solid contact with that. Wait, pull?
No.
This is the best moment, but yeah. Tim's gonna push the cart over towards the larger kind of court area and see if there's anything around there that's worth it.
Okay. So you see, again, a large sort of court-sized area. There are several chairs and tables here and there. They look pretty identical. Looks like they've been made in the same fashion. Off to the left, you can see just inside, there is another sort of there's another hallway that looks like it has been, again, collapsed with debris. There's a large slide of mud and rock cutting it off. But just before that, there looks like another two shops. To the right, you can see another long walkway, and dotting both the left and the right periodically are more shops. And sure enough, you see what looks like particle board and duct tape. That looks like the bay of glass doors that you saw earlier.
On the entrance. We're not in Cuba. And nobody's playing JFK. So is this T intersection, or is it a full four-way to the court?
Well, so the court sort of pops out. Let me just go ahead and draw a little sort of thing to help you there. So here's the hallway that you're coming in from. And then it sort of branches off into this bigger space. Then there's a little hallway there. It looks like there's a shop there, a shop there. There's debris there that's cutting you off. This thing opens up a little bit. It looks like what looks like a divot in the wall over there. And then the hallway continues that way. And we've got shop, 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 glass doors.
Where are we right now?
You are here
Okay.
in classic mall fashion.
All right.
We still like food court. Fairly strong in numbers.
Lena, take the lead.
Okay, where are you headed?
Okay, are these shops that we've already seen?
No, those are new. Yeah, those are new places.
Okay, so she'll
Go
go
on.
there.
Yeah. My characters will go that way too.
Trundling shopping carts. All
How many have bed wheels?
Probably all
All
of
of
them.
them.
I'm sure
So
all of them have
you
two
make your
bed
way
wheels.
down this hallway, and you see that both shops, the mesh doors have been sort of fully slid down. They're sealing off of these shops. Now that doesn't mean that you couldn't conceivably roll those back up. But right
Guys.
now they're fully down.
Guys, I forgot. I have a crowbar.
How do you
Get to
forget that?
I'm sorry, everyone was trying to bash. I didn't want to outsmart you guys by using a tool. I want to be,
Just use the
equal.
crowbar.
So which one of your characters went in to check that out, Robert?
Lena.
So Lena went in. Is anyone else following her or
Yeah.
checking out there? So who?
I don't know if the crowbar will work on this, but it might work on the door.
They might be able to pop.
I figured we all went that way, didn't we?
Headed that direction,
Yeah.
but sounds like we're having a conversation about opening doors.
Oh, okay.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to know who's in this general area.
So I'll say,
I think the whole group's in that general.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sort of discussing what to do. Okay, well, we could lift this up or use the crowbar. And you can see through the mesh. It looks like there's stuff in there. There's like displays and everything salvaged that you could take. And then you see both doors very quickly roll up into their catches. And then pouring out into the hallway are these hordes of slightly oversized bugs, cockroaches and centipedes and millipedes.
I told you.
So these bugs, essentially like a wave, crash onto you, and everyone takes...
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
So 2 damage
Time to roll armor.
as these bugs are, picking and biting.
Gina's dead.
Oh, so she was buried under the tsunami of bugs.
Let's roll. Just all of them?
They're all gone?
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
2 damage. All right.
2 damage. Yes.
Ah! I should have lit those bricks on fire.
Well, it's been fun, guys.
Damn.
I mean, you're free to use one of their spares if you'd like to.
It's cool.
So where's the scissors?
Lizzie's still hanging in there.
Eat some popcorn,
Yeah, they
I
are
guess,
right
and
there.
go make some dinner, I guess.
God damn.
So who has survived the tsunami of bugs?
Tim, Bruce, who was unscratched thanks to his leather jacket,
Of course.
and Lizzie.
Okay, Robert?
Dina, Lena, and Mina all survived.
No, not Gina.
Gina died.
Gina's gone.
She only
Lance?
had 1 hit point, so she was gone.
The badger died.
Oh no, the
Oh god.
We're all
Mogok?
so sad.
Is Mogox the badger?
Yeah.
Yeah, the urchin? Yeah.
Gox.
Yeah.
The Jersey J.
Excellent. Thank you.
I like being a loud mouth.
Very good. Okay.
All the characters
And
are
Rachel's
happy to have
characters
these
are all
done.
dead.
Jeez.
Wow. Okay. So you are now. So now the remainder of you.
He
you
has
see,
a slingshot.
You see some of
so-
your comrades essentially get sort of overtaken by this wave of bugs, and then the rest of you are just kind of like trying your best to sort of shoulder your way through this. Where are you going? What are you doing about this? You realize that these bugs are like swirling around you and are actively biting and tearing at your skin. Like, you got to get out of here, otherwise you're going to keep getting bit.
Yeah, we're going away from them.
Yeah. Head towards front
So
doors.
you're heading back this way.
Yep.
Okay.
Tim's going to do the classic push shopping cart right on back of shopping cart as it's moving forward.
Okay. So everyone moving into this court area, please make reflex saves.
Per character.
Everybody, per character.
Tim.
11.
Tim makes a 10.
Okay.
Bruce. Not bad, Bruce. Makes a
3.
17. So 10,
Okay, so-
17. And Lizzie manages a natural 20 for just 20.
And 16.
So which one of your characters made a 3?
Dina.
So as Dina is rushing through into the open court area, trying to get out of this sort of wave of bugs, the rest of the living characters see
That's not good
hear
sound.
what sounds like a rope snapping, and then this huge, basically a trunk of a tree, into which have been shoved various knives and kitchen cutlery and everything, swings down from a sort of hidden recess in the ceiling and barrels into Dina, giving her 4 damage.
Okay.
Just,
It's just the lowest.
it's
I
that
got
quick
a
moment
7.
where everybody ducks.
Oh, you got a 7?
Yeah.
Okay. That character, who is it?
Ted.
Tedix
Oh!
is also hit by the side of this same beam and takes 2 damage.
Teddy's just dead in the shopping cart.
Oh.
Now I'm at this weird moment where it's my
Yeah, you got the corners.
corners.
So, everyone who is still alive,
Tim, Bruce, Lizzie,
Lena and Mina.
and
Corkle and Torko.
they sound like a buddy cop duo.
attorney at law. Attorneys at law.
But at least Teddy's still in the cart, so we still got his tent. The tent's still there,
Oh.
so I'll keep that for now.
So everyone else, everyone who's still alive, please give me a intelligence check, please.
All right, Tim, you haven't failed me yet. Here's
Now
your chance to
remember,
fail me.
you can burn off luck to change rolls.
13 and 12.
13 and 12. 12.
13 and 9.
Okay, so everyone who didn't get a 9, you all notice that in the chaos and everything, as you're zooming through this open court area, you notice that there is a tall, gangly, pale human figure covered in these sort of wild tufts of hair. Actually, you catch a glimpse of him fleeing back into this sort of divot there in the wall.
Got someone setting traps for us.
I think Tim's going to push and head that way. Try to follow after.
Okay.
I think Brucey will notice and do the same.
Mina and Mina is just following at this point.
Okay, so are the lot of you heading into that divot then?
Guess so.
I imagine Lizzie is gonna keep going straight,
I know.
assuming exit is
Okay.
the good way to go. She's probably hopping on the bike now, pushing off. Gonna get to that front door, see if she can get out.
My 2.5 will go over there, I guess.
Okay, so majority.
2.5.
Oh yeah, you get the dead guy.
The dead guy, the shopping cart.
Still in the shopping cart. Poor Dex.
Just the car is continuing to move, it's just this dead body. Okay.
Somebody was pushing him, so.
Yeah. So, those of you who went after this pale humanoid, you see, you enter into the divot in the wall, and it looks like that, again, much like earlier you saw those tunnels kind of leading into the earth. You see another tunnel kind of winding out, and there's a larger space, and sure enough, you see what looks like, again, this pale, misshapen human figure with tufts of hair, like a huge, almost like a mane of hair growing out of his large palms and the backs of his hands, wearing what looks like a polyester jumpsuit, gathering together what looks like, he's grabbing what looks like a club and what looks like a moldy tennis ball or something like that, and is gathering this stuff together in his arms, turns around and then sees the lot of you, and then immediately raises the club up, ready to fight you. Roll initiative.
Dropping all those tennis balls. Hey.
Man, my really good fighters are dead.
16.
16 for Steven.
11.
Except for
11 for Robert.
15.
15 for Lance. Steven, your characters go first.
Alright. Tim's gonna rush up and just hit him with a hammer. See how that goes.
Sounds good. Please hit him.
Does a 14.
14 does hit.
D4. 3 damage.
Okay. Wow. So Tim, Toolman Taylor, with his hammer, whops this guy directly in the temple, and you see, the club flies out of his hand, and he just, crumples down to the ground. Instantly dead.
Jesus. Tim may be my hero.
So,
Not what we deserve,
now
but
you
he's
have
the
this.
hero we need.
You now have this weird, pale, misshapen, hairy humanoid lying at your feet. There's a club. It looks like a crude piece of wood onto which has been sort of grafted what looks like some stone bits and things to make it a little more rough and tumble. And then sure enough, there's that moldy tennis ball that is sort of rolled out of his hand and is sitting near the body.
Does the moldy tennis ball have a pin in it?
It doesn't have a pin in it, though it looks like it's been, the lines don't match on the side, so it looks like it's been messed with. Maybe opened and then reassembled.
I think Bruce is going to go over to it and pick it up and examine it a little bit.
Okay, give me a reflex save.
Yay, there it is. 6.
6.
I'm prepping that armor roll.
So how'd you get armor?
He started with it. Actual leather jacket.
So, he's examining this thing, and then the mold on the actual tennis ball kind of gets a little clotted, a little sticky, and as Bruce is pulling back his hand to try to like remove it, takes the top half of the tennis ball with it, and out of it is this swarm of bugs that erupts from the ball and begins to pick away at his face. 2 points of damage for Bruce.
Okay, so roll armor. Got a 3.
Very good.
So
Okay.
it's just on the jacket.
So he's able to like swat these out of the way. And it looks like, so Bruce is kind of making sense of the situation, like, it's like a bomb with bugs in it? Certainly looks to be the case. Now the moldy tennis ball is empty, and these bugs are just like flying
All over
about
the
and
place.
skittering around on the floor.
Drops it, and he'll pick up the bat.
Club.
Yeah. El Clubbo.
You notice that as the bugs are moving about and everything like that, they are clearly avoiding the pale humanoid's body. Not crawling over it, not picking at it, just moving around.
What's he got on him? Like on the body.
I don't know, let me check. Bruce will go in, do a quick rifle of the pockets. See another intelligence to search him?
Yeah.
Need some help?
No, natural 20 with a +0. So
Very good. So you take a thorough account of everything on... It looks like he was only wearing clothing.
Okay.
This polyester jumpsuit, which has been patched and like sewed together and is in tatters on the sleeve portions and everything like that. Sure enough, as a polyester jumpsuit is wont to do, no pockets. So you just gonna pat the body down, nothing. Looks like the club and the tennis ball, which has been activated.
That's been used.
Does
yeah.
he smell different?
I mean, he looks different.
So
He has kind of like an
Musk.
acrid smell to him. Yeah.
Yeah, not really pleasing on the nostrils. I'm sure some sort of mutation or something.
Now that you're close up and you're sort of like trying the body, you notice that his skin is like, it's not only pale, but it's got kind of like a white sheen to it.
Could we...
You want to throw him in your cart?
That might work. It's maybe better than...
I don't think they'd accept that in the tribute
Here's
kit.
payment.
That might be better than, rubbing him down and then, trying to clone ourselves.
What? Go for it.
I'm getting out of here.
The
Yeah.
bugs don't
Is
want to
this-
get near him.
Does this go anywhere? Like, does this divot go further in?
No,
Are
it's
there
sealed.
connections?
It's essentially like
Okay.
a small cave-like room
Yeah.
that has been sort of hollowed out.
It's his little nook.
Do what you will with the guy, but problem solved.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Oh, I'll just leave him.
Okay, so who's going where? So you're coming out of the divot
Oh,
here.
wait, I'll put
Back
on
out
his
this way.
clothes.
So who is going through here to the section with the shops?
Technically, Lizzie first,
Lizzie
and
first.
then I think everybody else.
Okay, Lizzie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
Lizzie.
say.
He's dead.
Likely dead.
God, you guys are. God, I wish you'd check for things instead of rushing in a cart past them. Man, that's
She's bicycling at this point.
bicycle. Okay, so
I wish I had the stats to actively check for things and not fail at them automatically.
as she is pedaling by, she's kind of like off to the
That'd be
side,
a
slightly
luck
towards
stat.
one of the walls.
Like your personal R&D.
One of these
thing,
like
luck stat?
weird misshapen gray things that have been affixed to the wall. You hear a noise and this sort of yellowish gas sprays out and envelops Lizzie. Fortitude save for Lizzie there.
It's her best, but it's not great. 13.
13. Okay. So Lizzie is like enveloped in this yellow gas and begins coughing and retching. She loses 3 stamina.
Well, 18 down to 50.
Oh,
And naturally that affects the modifier.
Fires.
Right.
Yep.
does that then affect her current health pool?
No.
Nice.
Only on level ups.
Only on level ups. Right. And so she's maintaining, trying to keep
Still
herself on the bike.
Forwards.
Oh, the rest of you continuing after and moving.
Not
Through?
once I see that yellow gas.
Okay, so you sort of come to a halt right here.
Like, hold on.
So Lizzie's still up, but she looks like she's kind of rough. Right. Does Lizzie continue pedaling?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But she's still pedaling for fear of bug swarm.
Okay, sounds good. So,
She's
Lizzie, while pedaling, crosses the sort of threshold here between the front two shops and the middle two shops.
Another sharp twang.
She's setting off all the traps for us.
Fear is a powerful motivator.
So, she needs to make a reflex save.
+0. 19.
19.
GG.
She's pulling one of those Akira stops
Oh,
with the
nice.
bike.
So, as she's pedaling, she suddenly sees what looks like a sort of brown shape coming down from the ceiling. Sure enough, as she's doing the Akira slide, she's able to sort of like fall delicately under this huge board that has been released from the ceiling that is littered with nails, like top to bottom. This giant like roof-sized piece of timber coming down. Well, 4 roofs, not the whole roof. And she's able to sort of skid under it and avoid being skewered.
I think she'll stop there, having miraculously survived 2
She
sudden
stops.
traps.
It comes back.
That was the mistake. Prop the bike up and look back at everybody else.
She's now about probably 20 feet away from the glass, the bay of glass doors.
You're doing fine. Keep going.
She'll take the first moment to stop and look to see if there's any sort of like tripwires or something.
Intelligence check, please.
Yep, that could potentially set things up. This is her worst stat with a -1. 14.
Seems fine.
She's rolling good.
Seems fine.
She'll get back on and slowly pedal towards the front doors.
Okay, so she comes up to the bay of glass doors here. Sure enough, even on the inside, you can see that
Can't trip over wires.
large
if you're
pieces of duct tape and
rolling over
particle
them.
board have been put into place to try to maintain the door's structural integrity and cover up the broken glass and everything like that. And she's right in front of them.
She'll test one of the doors, see if
Okay.
it opens.
It's
2 hits.
Oh yeah, 1 then 2 if need be.
It doesn't seem to want to open.
Give it a quick look. Is there like a lock?
You see that there
Something
is what looks
barring
like
it.
a sort of a metal
Knob
a
of
twist
sorts?
knob. Yeah.
Give it like a twist all the way to the left first. Push.
Door swings wide open, and the daylight is streaming in as you see the
Turned over.
the turned over tour bus and the rest of the parking lot.
She turns back and gives a big thumbs up. We're good.
Man, that I wish there was a trap here.
Yeah,
There's another plane coming down. We're good.
Final destination stuff.
Yeah,
Another
yeah,
tour
exactly.
bus.
Final
another
destination.
Another tour bus.
Okay.
It's like we're in for one last tour. All right, Tim's gonna give like a thumbs up back, and then go. We
I
should
guess that was kind of like the joke.
probably check the rest of these on the way out, load up, and
Backs
maybe
up.
call it a day.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh, we're gonna go out the way we came, or
We're
No,
gonna go
out
out
here.
The front doors.
Front door might as well. We've got
Is it the
4 to
gas?
check. Well,
That
that's
was
going to
just a quick-
dissipate. Yeah.
so
Right.
the gas is still.
It's starting to dissipate.
Okay.
Yeah, it's starting to like particleize and dissipate in the air.
So yeah, we'll pop up. I think Bruce is going to try the first door on the left, if that's open
Which door? Are you
for the
talking
shops.
about? Oh, okay. So these are like mesh walls that have been sort of retracted into the ceiling. This first one on the left here is what you're looking for. Okay, you actually see that now that you're sort of in front of the shops, you can see it looks like signage hanging from them. This particular store reads Candle Company, and a powerful, sickly sweet, saccharine sort of aroma with a little bit of spice is sort of wafting out of the shop and into Bruce's nostrils.
Oh, never mind. Not this one. He will head to the one on the right side.
Okay, the one over there. This one is Sportsfoot. And the whole contents of the shop are in disarray. Lots of what look like articles of clothing and shoes and these sort of twisting piles. But it looks like some of that stuff's still good. You could probably salvage some of that.
Looking for Jordans.
Pump up Jordans. Assuming the door's open, yeah, we'll have.
Oh yeah. All these are all
Okay.
open. Yeah.
So who's searching?
For this, it's probably Corco.
Okay.
Even though he doesn't have the intelligence.
Mr. Shades.
He's got to get some new shoes, man.
Mm-hmm. I just need to know who's doing what.
That's important.
Oh, intel?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Ooh. 1.
A natural one. Okay.
I ain't found shit.
You ain't found shit. Yeah. So you're looking at this pile like, I don't even know where to start. You just turn to Bruce and is like,
Bruce is like, all right. And Bruce
Gonna
will dig
try.
into it.
okay, sure, yeah.
Okay. 2 of them will dig into it.
Intelligence checks.
8.
8.
11.
Okay, so
Shoes not my special.
That's fair.
Lena or Mina?
Lena.
Lena comes in and is able to dig through these piles of leather and athletic wear, and is able to find. Leon will eat that. Is able to find, in great condition, 18 pairs of salvageable shoes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boxes upon boxes. She's able to dump them into the
All
cart.
size 3.
Do you have a cart left?
Yeah, we have 2 cards left.
Oh, both of your characters have carts?
Yeah, because when
I mean, Elsie and had a cart full too. And I'm
Problem
sure
is it's covered in bugs.
when
it had the sports
You know,
Oh, yeah.
stuff in it and the glasses, so you might want to go back and get it.
Yeah, it's a good
wait,
point.
wait. We could get the candles and smoke them out.
Go for it, Big Shoots. We'll
But,
search here.
but then we might
Handle the
set the
bugs.
badger on fire. He had 5 fire starter bricks on him.
I'm sure
Might-
that'll be fine.
It might burn everything that was over there.
So you got that marked down then? That's what I was asking about the carts.
okay.
I've been keeping who's got what in what cart.
Good.
Tim currently has an empty cart, but a back.
Yeah, I got this stuff. Please.
Alright, I think Tim will push ahead. One on the right. Read it.
This particular
Got
shop
the easy
says
reach.
this shop says the leatherist.
Bruce!
Lots of leather goods inside, jackets and pants and so on. So Bruce steps inside, and it's kind of a musty smell in here, but otherwise everything seems like, at least on the outside, looks pretty usable, pretty salvageable. Yeah, check.
Yep. We'll have both Tim and Bruce do a check here. So Tim.
Yeah, do one as well.
Yeah.
19.
Tim manages a 19 as well. Damn.
Okay, so the two of you come in, and you can see that as you're making a closer sort of look at these leather goods, you can see that they're being actively eaten away by some of these slightly oversized bugs. Luckily, you're able to sort of move about them and not sort of disturb them in any way. So what did you get for your intelligence check?
19.
19. And you got?
19.
19. So the two of you are sort of making your way through these racks and everything, and the both of you find 8 leather jackets that look like they have been custom made. On the back is what looks like there's a sort of a stylized piece of art and a sort of stenciled lettering that says "Tunnel Snakes,"
I think we just
God
found
damn
our
it.
new gang name.
sealed in
Everybody
heavy
gets a pair.
plastic, and they are marked with a tag that says "Special Order."
This, I think this one stays with us.
So does
think
these
so.
work as armor?
No, they're a little on the thin side. It looks like it's purely cosmetics.
I'll don one and then go over try to get the carts with the easy reach.
Okay, you grip one and very slowly pull it towards you.
I'll put the other 7 jackets in Tim's cart.
Okay.
So which cart of Rachel's did I get? Probably the one with the storage bins.
I think so. Okay.
My characters only have one card.
Okay, so
So it had the storage bins and the cases of sports bars and the glasses.
Bruce is gonna head over here.
Bruce approaches the shop. Everything's $1. It looks like a tsunami's hit this shop. Like crumbling plastic trinkets littering the floor, making it impossible to move without stepping on something and crack and crunch and so on. It looks like, sure enough, there's like piles of like trinkets and bits and everything in there, but you'd have to sort of like wade through it and make a lot of noise in the process.
Says everything's $1. Means everything in here you can call $1. He wears a shit-eating grin after that, and then wades in to see if he can find something.
how much is $1 in?
What's $1?
No, it is $1. This is $1, and holds it up, and it's like, I don't know, like a bobblehead.
So how many minutes are you going to spend in there?
Probably 5.
5. Okay.
Bruce will wade in. Everybody else will probably be loading up from other shops and whatnot.
So,
Bruce never to be seen.
So you spend those minutes just sort of rummaging through, crunch, 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 moving things out of the way. You manage to cobble together like basically a handful of plastic bits and like usable like party-sized kazoos and
Legos.
yeah, and like pieces of like 1 or 2 pieces of Lego
Party
and full
favors.
sets. And it looks like you've got enough to maybe like.
Call it a unit of plastic.
That's like a unit, right? Yeah, but you know, every little bit counts.
All right, Lena, check this one.
So as so Lena approaches that shop and sees Nutrition Central. It looks like this shop's in total disarray.
Well, she can't read.
Wait, she sees blah 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 blah.
None of my characters. The one that could read died.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
So this store, well, the rest of you see it.
Yeah. Hence the everything's $1. Trying to convince them everything in here is called $1.
So this store, it looks like it's in total disarray, but into your eyes, like a calculated way. Like you've seen this before. People were coming in here salvaging stuff. You can make an intelligence check to try to pick over the remains.
Let's try that. See how well this goes.
I believe in you.
10.
That
Yeah,
makes
the
me want
place
to grab
is
the popcorn
place is
all the more.
trashed. There's nothing in here.
You can do it.
Alright, she'll go over to the other store.
You see that inside there are all of these. You see that there are all kinds of clothing items littering the floor: jeans and skirts and blouses and all that stuff. They've been what look like been tossed from these like long metal racks that have been sort of freestanding in this shop. You also see, despite that, there are several mannequins in the shop, large, faceless, humanoid figures made out of like what looks like a kind of plastic or something, that have been heavily decorated with jewelry.
Shinies.
So I'll take a look in there. Intelligence check.
Yes.
Let's see how this works out.
I believe in you.
14.
14. Okay. So you approach and sort of like kind of eye the place. The clothing on the floor has been eaten away by bugs or has gotten like water damage or something like that. And you notice that these mannequins, it's not even real jewelry. That's costume jewelry. It's like plastic and fake gems that have been glued together and everything. This place is a bust.
Well, you ready to go?
Fake.
Covered that. 2 areas which were filled with bugs. Probably not going to have much to loot.
Nope. Bugs will have eaten it all.
I'm not going back to those bugs.
Well, shall we try to flip over the bus?
Worth a try. We lost the driver, though.
I think we're walking home. I really do.
Let's give the bus a try first.
Just
Just once.
don't strain yourself.
Every remaining character make a strength check.
Yeah. All right, Tim.
A 3 and a 15.
12.
Okay.
14 and a 7.
Tim with a 12, Bruce with a 4, and Lizzie with a 15.
So who got at least 12? 1,
I think 2.
2, 3, 4. Right? Out of a possible, how many people are left?
3, 2, and 2.
7.
Okay.
Barely.
So all of you are sort of pooling your strength, pushing the thing. Luckily, the tour bus has like shed a lot of its internal bits and seats and bits of metal that you're able to sort of eventually push it over, and it sort of rocks back onto its wheels.
I think that's when Torko puts the music back on for a bit, during the lifting.
Tokro?
Torko puts the music on. Got the crowbar to help start the lift. Get the hands under. And he's the one just like putting out,
Directing.
like instead of like the drums for the rowing, it's the music.
Storm.
So we loaded up and Lena drive back.
Okay,
Snakes.
so Lena needs to make a vehicle handling check. So D20, your action die, plus your agility.
As the music is blaring.
You 16, 17.
17.
got
Okay,
it.
so Lena gets in the seat, jacks it into drive, hammers on the pedal, and the tour bus rockets out over the bumpy, fissured concrete. And as you do so, who's in the very back of the tour bus? Which one of our characters here?
Lena's up by Lena.
Yeah, they're kind of hanging out together.
I'd probably imagine Lizzie.
Lizzie turns to sort of see the mole in the rear, and she sees that pouring out of the glass doors are what look like hundreds of these pale, misshapen humanoids with tufts of hair, with clubs and what look like tennis balls, all rushing towards them. Does Lizzie say anything, or does they're along for the ride?
Hey, maybe we go deliver this personally. And we'll point towards the back, the swarm of albino club wielders.
Yeah.
Do they kind of look like our old man? Or are they? Or
No.
is it
No,
just
like
Faith?
like the man who was covered in gunk and the body we left behind.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, you peel out, you're trying to make distance. Luckily, the tour bus is faster than this oncoming horde
Man, I'm
of
glad we're not on foot.
hairy, pale humanoids.
Whose idea was it to walk originally?
And you all...
Well, you know what probably signaled them off is Darude Sandstorm.
It didn't help.
So you make your way, dust pouring and rocks spitting out from the tires, making your way back into the Nuqua Valley with this harsh electronic music blaring, echoing off of the valley tunnels and walls. And you screech into Nuqua proper near the high school.
Everybody get your jackets
just as the beat drops.
Just in our
You see that
jackets.
there are a handful of citizens sort of milling about, half expecting none of you to come back. The mayor is also out there too. Mayor Gumption? Is that what it was? Gumpton? Yeah, excuse me.
I think I definitely took
Mayor
more of the...
Mayor Glumpton is like sitting there and he's shocked and like surprised, and then like immediately covers his ears and begins to shout at you. Did you get anything?
Just holding up the iPhone.
Thumbs up.
Can you stop that?
I just turned it down a little bit.
Just one of those assholes is like, could you turn it down a bit? One.
So
One of 90.
Mayor Glumpton and some of the people he just gestures for them to come help him. Moves into the sort of the back area of the tour bus and looks inside and takes an inventory of everything that you've gathered, and then sort of takes a moment, puts his hand over his face. This is it?
Yeah. But you're welcome to go back there and try to find some more.
I mean, this has to be like worth a lot. I guess I'll part with it.
Waiting for the battery to die.
This is like... We can't do anything. This is like 10% of the truck. We need a hell of a lot more stuff than this. We're all fucked.
Size doesn't matter.
And as Sandstorm continues to blare throughout the Nuqua Valley, you see Mayor Glumpton just kind of sit down in the dirt and just sort of pound his fists into the dirt as all of the citizens are all just kind of looking around awkwardly. Okay. And you were all summarily killed by the raiders who arrived merely a week later. That's too bad. So, sort of a peek behind the scenes of what happened. In terms of like treasure, like a tribute truck value, right? Each thing you'd find would count towards a certain amount of TT, right? You know, you collected in total 32 TT. What you needed to fill the tribute truck was 200.
Jeez.
There were... The bugs scared you off, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
There were whole sections of the mall that you didn't find with expensive shit inside that you could have salvaged. Unfortunately, everybody got a little spooked by the tsunami of bugs and decided to leave early.
Well, yeah, it's just like killed half of our party.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey, it's a zero-level funnel. What do you expect?
That was a hard nope.
I don't blame you at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no.
So it looks like
They only had like 1 HP on one.
if there are
I blame you
further
on it.
adventures in America, they're going to be with entirely different people.
Well, Meta split 5 HP.
Except for maybe Tim the Toolman Taylor. Maybe he
May make a
will
reprisal if I have to reroll or if I can just borrow the character.
Okay.
Still level 0.
That's it. Thank you guys so much.
Damn.
That's the first time I've ever run one of these sort of level 0 meat grinder funnels.
Plug and chug.
I love the grindery parts of it, but we just got unlucky with that.
Yeah, I mean you ran into some obstacles and like just couldn't sort of recover. Sometimes
Tim
that
was
happens.
at 1 hit point. Bruce was still at 3. Lizzie was down to 3 from 5, and had lost stamina.
Yeah, if we didn't hit those bugs like all of us, we could have gotten a lot worse.
Yeah, those bugs
Yeah.
like got
Oh yeah.
like a whole swath of characters.
It was like a high-level party standing around as a fireball went off.
Yeah, basically.
It was
yeah.
bad news.
Bad news bears.
Ooh. Okay, so
It's a type of game I would love to see more of.
thoughts? How do you feel about it?
I especially like the like Fallout-y aesthetic. I think we're not used to looking at stuff. Like from just a player point of view, we're not used to the like search for traps.
No, this is definitely
Yeah.
an old school actively search for traps thing.
Yeah,
We're
we're
like
See-
when we did Tomb of Annihilation, we were
You mean
ready
Tomb
for
of
that.
Horrors.
Tomb of
Tomb of Horrors, yeah.
Yeah.
We
See,
were
I had no
prepped for
problem
that.
like wanting to look for traps,
Mhm.
but none of my characters had an intelligence over 11. They wouldn't have been smart enough to look for
For
What?
traps.
Well, I mean that's
That was the problem.
well, that's
I
a
had,
role
like,
playing. Just you could still roll for it, and like there's a narrative justification for those people like just happening to notice one or the other, even if they're
Yeah.
not actively looking.
I legitimately
Yeah.
didn't think of it.
I felt very like, well, my character's not smart enough to do any of the things that I know we should be doing, so.
Well, the whole point is that all of your characters suck,
Yeah.
and like if any of them survive, like
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle, and they get to be like PCs. You know what I mean?
They earned the right.
Well, it's certainly something that I would like to continue to explore, like at like a legitimate level, like people with actual like classes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But,
Like, I would love to do like another classic dungeon crawl. Do like a D&D fantasy version of it. Maybe that gets us in a better headspace. Maybe we roll better.
Just go back to Tomb of Horrors or White Plume Mountain.
White Plume Mountain.
Aren't too bad, but I don't know, I like having the party of 4 people and being like this gestalt entity controlling them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way, you still have that moment of like, okay, yeah, you can still have that drama of people are dying, but you're still able to sit at the table and play, as opposed to, well, I got wiped by the the disintegration ray. In like
I'm done for the
Annihilation
rest of
or
the
something.
night, yeah.
I'm done. I'm just gonna sit back or wait until you guys head back to town, and I'll have a new character rolled out.
Right.
I like having the 4 meat bags you're throwing at
That's something good about the funnel adventures that you have some expendable people.
What we did for Tomb of Horrors, we had like 4,
Oh yeah, we prepped some other.
and we had
some
like a whole
back-
caravan basically go there, except it took a long time. No one really died.
As it does, yeah. But no, that's part of the reason why I've always liked the lower levels, is that it's got that heightened sense of drama. Because it's like, yeah, all it takes is this orc to hit you, and it's rolling a D12 battle axe or a D10 axe of some sort. Almost no level 1 characters have that type of hit point.
Yeah.
And now we're dealing with characters who aren't even that. But
Well, if you want to explore like a more sort of fantasy-oriented
I'd be fine with
version
either.
of this,
I'd be curious
the
about the
good
fantasy.
thing about just the straight dungeon crawl classics system is that it's been out longer than like Mutant Crawl Chronicles and stuff, and it has an active sort of community that makes all kinds of third-party stuff. So like, there is like every class under the sun that you can play now. It's like scouts and assassins and monks and all the stuff from the paladins and all this stuff like psychics and like all this stuff that fits in the sort of fantasy milieu, right?
BCC.
And so it not only does it have this wealth of third-party material, it sort of expands it and keeps the mechanics simple. I mean, it's just like it's a new class. They have this many hit die and blah blah blah. But it also has what are probably, apart from Lamentations of the Flame Princess, some of the most batshit adventures that have ever been written. Like pure like weird ass 70s Frank Frazetta art come to life kind of things, and like so there's like a whole wealth of cool adventures for DCC. So like if we did play more of this, I could like just easily take one and be like, here you go, fucker, we're doing this now.
I am always game for it.
70s style kind of stuff. So
I don't know, I just love that like sense of mortality and drama that it imbibes in that first run.
no, definitely. Yeah.
And you get that character where it feels like, no, you survive something big once you hit first level.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a story already, instead of, yeah, I'm a ranger.
That's exactly what they're going for.
Yeah.
They're like, the person that lives, like you've got a story and like a history and emotional baggage there, and like you decide to become an adventurer proper, and like then level 1 really means something, because you're like, now I am a cleric, or now I am
Got
this.
that heft.
Yeah.
Does everyone have plans for Thanksgiving and stuff?
No, not really.
Probably. Maybe no.
Well, okay, first off, you're always welcome to come eat with us, although you will have to put up with my sister and my grandmother.
Maybe not worth
So,
I've heard rumors of one.
all of us can cook. So there's that.
it. Well, you and your grandmother.
Yeah, that's also what I heard.
It's
There's nothing
disputed.
wrong-
Let's put it.
There's
It's
nothing wrong
disputed.
with Kelly's food.
No, well, yeah, okay. I beg to differ.
She's only making cranberry sauce and sweet potatoes.
Well, things that I wouldn't eat, anyways.
An example of a class you could play is the Robo Priest.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
Oh man.
But I didn't know if everybody wanted to do something on Friday or not.
Also,
since I'll have a day off of work.
The Crow Mentalist, like a cave person psychic.
Okay.
That'd be
It's
so
fantastic.
nice if I could just,
You see what I'm saying? So like, there's like
play-
all kinds of
could play
options, and these are
whatchamacallit,
those are just specifically for like
one time.
Yeah, for
the,
Mutant Crawl.
the
Awesome.
American
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. And Mutant Crawl Classics is like basically
Yeah,
Dungeon Crawl
no, we were
Classics,
gonna do
but like
this-
it's a whole.
We can't do Lawn
It's
Morales
its
this
own-
Friday.
It's just
because
this
Trey has
weird
a thing.
like prehistoric, far future
like a
mash
mashup.
setting. So it has a different flavor. It's less. It's less Fallout and Mad Max and more like
We're hoping your schedule's going to change.
Gamma
Is that still the
World
thing?
style. You know?
Oh, probably
Definitely, yeah.
Oh, you don't think it will?
not. No. High likelihood, since I was already put on second, that they'll keep us on second.
No!
Yeah,
Bastards.
I'd be happy to be.
And I always
like
hear
either
a lot
of
of
those
the
two again.
new ones.
I'm just curious
all-
how the fantasy
already
one
go
feels.
to second shift
But
because
Yeah.
they'll
I'm always a
separate
fan
them
of
by
any setting with guns.
generation, so
It's just a
Yeah.
it'll be
It's just
a little bit
a
easier to work with.
plain,
all
simple,
the young
Well, I
people
know
already there.
that
root and shooty.
I know that DCC doesn't have guns in it. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
classic fantasy.
Oh,
Mutant Pro Classics does. Like, you can, like, find a laser
Do Saturday
crystal
mornings?
or whatever.
Guaranteed.
Like,
Yeah,
real weird
I
artifact
can do
future
Saturday morning.
tech shit, you know. This
I
is the
don't
kind of
know.
thing where, like,
and half of my
Mutant Pro
Saturday
Classics is like
evenings,
is the
Half of your
game
what?
where
half of the Saturday
like
evenings.
a
Yeah.
human being and like a weird dinosaur person and like a maybe a mutant or something like that with a couple of arms are all like dressed in like weird tribal garb, carrying spears, and they go inside like an AI facility and like begin to like parlay with this digital god. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of game. Right.
You know what's? This sounds like we should go DCC and then surprise it's paranoia.
That's something that does definitely work. Yeah.
That lends itself to it fairly well. You show up and it's friend computer. Oh no.
You go into this place. You find a little screen. It has a light. Hello.
One thing that I like about the American stuff is
it's
it doesn't
just
take
Portal.
itself very
basically.
seriously.
I
Like,
appreciate that.
Here's some of the gods and patrons of America. Buddy O'Burger, the clown god of feasting, customer service, and cannibalism.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Bob Barker.
Elmos,
I mean, basically.
the puppet host of eternal pain and suffering.
No,
I know what priest I'd be making.
Kiz, of course, the mighty intergalactic god of rock and roll.
Elf should definitely be Will Ferrell, or Peter Dinklage, who plays the little elf storyteller in Elf.
We've got
Who's-
Santa, the
You're an
giving
angry
god.
elf.
Nice.
You're an angry.
And then that symbol that you saw on the iPod-like device was the symbol of Technos Discos, the terrible bringer of beats.
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
But yeah, I've always wanted to like try out Dungeon Crawl Classics because their adventure modules are so like classic '70s weird shit, you know. Like
That's crazy.
and it's hard
I
to
would be
like.
up for more.
It would be a bit of a task to try to convert those into anything else.
Oh, yeah.
right? You know. But just running them in DCC, it's just super easy. It's like all the basic stuff.
Doable.
So.
It keeps that crunch. Yeah, the system's not too bad
Crunch
either.
is the
It's-
people.
Yeah. It does the weird thing with the bonuses having the range instead of being every 2, which is kind of nice. That way you don't get too much of like runaway bonuses. I feel like having a +1 is like, no, that's fine. When you have a +2, that's something.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
That way it's less about, you got to roll like really well. You just have to roll decent. And unfortunately, we did not do that in some cases.
Although
Yeah.
we didn't get a reflex save for those bugs. They just swarmed us.
I did not call for a reflex
Yeah.
save.
What do you do?
For two
Bugs
saves.
are swarming at you. What do? You just get bit and you hope you can get out of there.
Just kind of die.
yeah. I guess I'll die.
Luckily, we didn't
Yo,
have to do
man.
like a fortitude save. Allergic reaction.
I mean, some people are allergic to cockroaches, like deadly allergic.
Bees.
So for everyone who is